It is indeed time to Higurashis. Welcome back to another episode of My Favorite Letter is X.
It's on like fucking Donkey Kong. I'm wearing this shirt on purpose. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
It is
Hello.
Wednesday, my dudes.
Motonut, congrats on being first. Can't see things, Dark Lord, congrats on being second. Hello, Honest Psycho, hello, Evie. Hello, everybody. How are you all doing?
How is everyone doing on this cute day?
My back is itchy.
Need help scratching?
Yes and no. So yesterday after stream I rigged up Tifa's new microphone cable to like reinforce it a bit to stop things from being bent in unnatural ways. But it's still Tifa, so I will try to be less shell-shocked about all of this.
I was like, I'm cold. I want to wear my vest. He's like, you can't wear a vest. You have your microphone.
First of all,
it's not an option to only stream in my t-shirt.
First things first, just do something to get warm. Second thing.
That is not an option.
Is this a vest? This is a sweater or a hoodie.
That's a vest.
This is not a vest.
It counts as
a vest is something that has no arms.
Not in Dutch.
Please
this is a vest.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Tifa is trying to normalize the Dutch language and it need not be normalized.
Also, a hoodie is without a zipper.
Why?
I don't know.
Who says that?
That's quite sure. Even in English, that's the definition of a hoodie.
One of you please correct one of us and I will thank you if it's me you agree with and Tifa you're correct.
Besides, I don't think we've ever established that I am like a fashion icon here. I wear like the same 2, maybe 3 shirts on stream.
Yeah, and honestly it's disgusting, but nobody has said anything yet.
Well, I have like, these black shirts are best for my microphone and I have like 4 of those that I'm just rotating through and I only wear them for stream.
Can confirm.
You can't even see this, but this one has a bottom or a hole at the bottom, unfortunately, so it's kind of being eaten by moths.
Where would you want just use the correct label? But which one is the correct label? And it's not vest though, is it? Meanwhile, Evie, congrats on getting
this is
your...
absolutely the...
What's AST?
Astronomer.
To level 60. Nice. My problem is whenever I see AST, I'm thinking of the German word Ast, which is like a stick, like a piece of tree, like a tree...
Stick.
What do you call the things that stick out of a tree?
Branches.
A branch. Yes, branch, that's the word. So I can never unsee this.
But we can also call them tree sticks.
Yes, but that somehow has less verbosity to it. A twiggy, a branch, those things, yes.
When is it a twig? Because for some reason, when it's on the ground, I call it a twig. But when it's on the tree, I call it a branch.
It's about the thickness. It's about the circumference.
Oh, that makes sense.
If it's thin, it's a twig. If it's big, it's a branch.
Usually when it's like on the ground, I'm like, oh, it's a twig. Which makes sense because it's usually small anyway. But
twig
when it's
small,
on the tree, it's
branch
like,
is
oh,
big.
Branches.
Yes, with twigs. The English language continues to elude us. Also, thank you for confirming Google, it's a hoodie.
Google hoodie. Google it.
No.
I'm gonna Google it.
I will not Google anything because I don't need to because I am right.
I shall Google hoodie definition.
Motonut, I see that you have played, what's it called, 13 Sentinels. I've been waiting forever for them to finally do a PC release. For some reason, Vanillaware hates PC. With the latest game Unicorn Overload also being on everything except for the PC. Should I get 13 Sentinels on the Switch? Because I know it's also on PS4, but I never touch that thing. Fuck Vanillaware. I don't understand why they don't give me PC versions of their games. I would give them my money, but also where is what was it called? Odin Sphere? Where is Dragon something something? Why don't they bring back these games? I want to give them money. Oh well.
Well,
I want to say Odin Sphere. And Not Dragon's Dogma, but which one is the one that's for beat 'em up by Vanillaware? Vanillaware beat 'em up. Bum 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 bum. Oh my god, why is this Wikipedia article 16 miles long? Dragon's Crown. Thank you.
That's what I said.
When did you do that, Tifa?
In another dimension.
Switch at least. Stuck on Wii, PlayStation Vita or PS4. Yeah, I mean... Maybe one day they'll give up. Honestly, the Switch version had no issues at all compared to what I've seen of a PS4 version. Okay, that...
You don't hear that very often.
Happens rarely enough. I like that.
Like, I have no clue what you guys are talking about, but that seems
I'll bite the bullet. I'll buy the Switch version, I guess. Write that down.
Write what down again?
Exactly. I will...
buy Switch version.
Wait. Timestamp. 13 minutes. Now I'll know to check the stream again to remember what game I wanted to buy when I forget again.
So you couldn't just put a mental note on what game you want to buy. Instead you put a mental note on the time in this particular stream so that you can then look at what game you set to buy.
Yeah.
Oh.
My mind works in mysterious ways sometimes.
Whatever works. Whatever works.
Hello Groundhog. Happy Wednesday.
How are you doing?
How is everyone? Tifa is tired.
And I think I will remain tired for a long time.
She came home, I made her dinner, I gave her dinner, she ate dinner, she said it was nice. And then I was like, let's go for a quick walk, because I could use some more sunlight for my face. And so we did. And 5 minutes after we left the apartment, Tifa has been yawning non-stop.
To be fair...
I did not see her mouth close for minutes.
I yawned like 300 times at work too.
Yes.
But to be fair though, I don't sleep a lot at the moment, but...
Why not?
My eye is also still a bit messed up and it's getting exhausting. It is tiring to see so many things in the corner of my vision 24/7.
Do you know what would help?
There are long days and it's tiring.
Do you know what would probably help?
Sleep?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
The doctors told you the most likely cause is stress. How about you just stop being stressed?
Oh, that was an option?
Yeah, just go for a walk, stop being depressed. Then you will stop being sad and anxious.
Imagine, I didn't know that was a thing.
The amount of times I've heard that from my father. Anyway, what can I do to make you feel better?
Great.
I made you dinner that you said was nice. I've given you chocolate. I let you sleep.
That is true. Before I go into that though, I am super happy you managed to finish that presentation from last week.
Alright. The most unorganized and improvised presentation.
But you did it.
I'm ready to cry with relief and joy because the cafeteria had chicken nuggets. Eat all of the nuggets. Push people out of the way in the line to eat their nuggets too. You deserve all of them. You should try to at least eat twice your body weight in nuggets today. You deserve it. You go.
Good job.
Congratulations. Do you already know what your grade will be? Because, and I say this every single time when we talk about presentations, for my final oral exam in high school, I realized I have to prepare for my final oral exam.
Somehow you make a good thing into a stressful thing.
At 11 p.m. the night before. And then I crammed everything in there for the next 3 hours. I went to bed at 2, woke up at like 8, and I just went for it. And I got an A-. Because it was all just still stuck in there. I studied with so much pressure, it went through my eyes and it just got etched into the sides of my brains.
I don't feel like that's the most important thing right now.
What is? Congratulations, Groundhog. What is the most important part? What?
The fact that she did it.
Yes, of course. That's what I'm saying. Congratulations. But I'm saying my best presentation ever was unorganized and mostly improvised. In the same sense. So I'm hoping it's going well. That's the energy I was trying to bring. I didn't make that clear. I'm sorry.
It's like, oh, great.
My story
But you have to get a good grade.
My story probably would have been way more impactful and like trying to see a positive outlook on things if I had taken you along on the emotional journey on why I'm telling you this. Anyway, I
hope you had all of the chicken nuggets.
Yes.
And I don't think we ever had a command for huzzah. At least I don't remember. And no, we're not gonna get a yawn counter because if we ever want to like continue this game and get anywhere, we don't have time to keep up with the counter.
Just stop yawning. Like Evie said, get good.
Not really an option. Do you know how often I already suppress my yawns? Huh?
I'm waiting for you to do it. It's gonna become very obvious.
It's not because I'm bored, I'm just tired.
I've told Tifa many times before, if you yawn on stream, stop trying to pretend it. If you sit there like... it's gonna look way more weird when you just, you know...
Yeah, but I also don't want to like yawn through an entire stream.
Listen, I get the idea that some people might see it and they take it as, oh, the person doesn't care, they're not interested. I've said it before,
yeah, exactly.
I'll say it again. We work full-time. We don't have maids and staff that clean the apartment for us.
That would be nice.
We work full-time, we come home, we do all the stuff, and then we sit here and we stream video games for fun. And sometimes we're tired. I would like to say we bring regular people energy. Sometimes it's a bit more, sometimes it's a bit less. But it's regular people energy, I would say. And sometimes we're tired. And for some reason Tifa doesn't sleep, so fuck you. But if you yawn, just yawn. I think we've all been there.
Yeah, but if I like allow myself to, I won't stop.
Okay, then I don't allow you. Does that help? There's like a lack of caffeine. Tifa, take a sip.
That is so nasty.
Take a sip.
Yeah.
This is delicious. This is coffee with expensive oat milk that Tifa got for free. Take a sip.
I drink coffee 3 times a week on average.
More sip, less talk.
This is not...
Sip. Another
also,
one.
I drink black tea. Isn't that also caffeine? I don't need
another one.
No, that is not nice.
Do it for the Higurashis.
I shall not be...
One more.
No.
One more or Reina will cry.
Fine, cheers for that.
Okay, and one more for Rika-chan.
No.
I tried to bully her to do the right thing.
I drink coffee 3 times a week when I'm at the office.
No, you don't.
And I drink vanilla chinos.
Tifa.
It's like this much coffee.
You drink a bag of milk with a droplet of coffee.
Yeah, sometimes I even pull it out earlier from the coffee machine.
One more for oyashiro-sama, whatever. I fucked it up.
No.
Do it.
No. It's not even good instant coffee. And you drink yours like dishwater.
Works for me. It's tasty to me, so okay.
Yeah, it's not nice.
Meanwhile, no idea where... Wait, no idea because there wasn't even a rubric? What's a rubric, Groundhog? Teach me new words. Teacher gave me an article he wrote to talk about. He gave an article he wrote. That's Jack level energy.
Tell me how good I am.
Yeah, I made an article. Now my students have to read it. To talk about it, and I tried to talk about the highlighted sections. He was like, whoa, you're choosing the most difficult topics. Turns out he didn't realize he sent me a highlighted version. Don't tell him.
I feel like you get extra points for that. I'm sure you will.
Groundhog's teacher, if you're watching this, this is a lie. This is all just playing along for the comedy of it all. This is totally not what happened. I got your back, Groundhog. Highlighted version, it didn't mean to make me talk about the toughest topics. Why can't I read? Which you highlighted. So basically, you had cheat codes activated.
You'll get extra points for that.
I don't see any problem with that.
Welcome back, Matanart.
I don't see any problem with that. Yeah. We need to end the yawn shaming.
We absolutely should.
Unless it's Tifa.
This is a yawn safe zone.
Yes. It's fine to be low energy. It just happens sometimes.
But, speaking about so cute, I also posted a picture on Discord, but seriously, the cutest thing. I have now claimed her as mine.
Tifa has a duck.
She is mine. I now have a work duck. And she is the cutest, most adorable thing ever. Like, we have a little inner courtyard at work, and my desk is like right next to it. So I have like this little view on a tree and some bushes. It's kind of nice actually. Gives you something to look at. But regardless, and it's like a 6-floor building. So it is kind of high. I'm on the ground floor, obviously. And for some reason, a duck last week flew over this building, looked down, saw this one tiny tree in our courtyard and was like,
home.
I'm gonna check this out. And she came down and she's been like walking in circles in the courtyard trying to look inside, and it was like adorable because one of the sides had like curtains closed and she keeps like trying to look past the curtains.
I would not be able to work in that environment. I would go outside to try to pet the duck.
And she is super curious. Like, she keeps paying attention to all movements, comes closer, and then like follows people back and forth in the courtyard while they walk. And since last week, she has came back every single day. And it is adorable.
It's 100% not knowing how to leave.
Leaves.
It's adorable. She's doing it by choice.
I would think she's doing it by choice, because she sticks around for like 2 hours and then she flies off. She's gone for the day, and then the next day she's back. She's back, and then she sticks around for a few hours and then goes again. And today was the first time I put like a bowl with some plain oatmeal and like water. And she was so happy. Like, it took a while for her to find it. But when she did, she was like, nah, nah, nah. And then she was like in the water, and she was like drinking, and then she pooped everywhere. And then she fell asleep like against the glass.
Did she do the thing where she like waddled the butt feathers? That is so adorable.
She is adorable.
Oh my god. Ducks and like, I guess swans and geese do that too sometimes, where they like wiggle their tail feathers. It's like they're shaking their little butts, and it's so cute.
She is so cute. And today, for the first time, I gave her some food, which also meant before I left for work, I had to clean the courtyard, because like I said, now she started pooping there, so I have like this watering can to like clean after her. Because at some point, they're gonna realize that it's me putting stuff there, and they're gonna probably complain at me for feeding the duck.
Yes.
So I got rid of the evidence before I went home, and next week I'm not in the office anymore this week. I'll just repeat the process.
The most important question though. You now mentioned, oh, take her home. Exactly.
Oh, she is so cute.
You said that you gave her oats.
Yeah, ducks can eat oatmeal.
When will you give her grapes? Because if the internet has taught me one thing, every duck wants grapes. They even waddle to the store the very next day. Bum, 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 bum. I'm
not sure. Is it actually safe for ducks to eat grapes? I know they can eat potatoes and stuff. I thought about it first.
I see, Psycho. I've seen the Discord. I've seen the timestamps. Snowy beat you. Snowy beat you.
With a few seconds.
Ducks enjoy many different types of fruits, including berries, melons, seed, and pit fruits. Grapes, bananas, plums, watermelon, pears, and peaches are all fine for ducks. Avoid citrus fruits.
Next week, I'll also cut a bit of a banana in small pieces and put it through the oats.
Grapes. And we need a picture of the duck eating the grape. Buy grapes. Do you love the duck or do you not love the duck? We need a picture of you feeding the duck grapes, or at least putting them there and then the duck eating the grapes.
If I get my hands on grapes, I'll cut them in like 4 pieces, I think, and give it to her. And then we'll see if she eats it. But I barely have grapes. But I do have banana.
Go to the store and buy grapes and take them along.
Anyway, she is adorable, and I have claimed her as my own, and she is now my house duck. And she's Renata. Maybe some people remember the story of when I built a snowman in the inner courtyard.
There's Reina in that name.
And we called it Renata. And now it came back in duck form.
Great evidence to be presented at your class trial later. Tifa's punishment? Pet more ducks. Before we go back to other parts, there is something very important that needs to be brought up again at this moment. And I need you all to help me to put Tifa into the timeout zone and shame her and bully her with me for this. Many years ago, before we started streaming, Tifa decided that she wants to go stay with her family for a few weeks to spend some time with them, while I was back here in Germany not being able to come along because I was busy working.
Yeah.
And she spent like, how long were you there? 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
In summer? Yeah. So we called every day. We've done long distance before. We did it again for 3 weeks. It sucked. But like every day Tifa would send me like messages and like pictures of what she was doing. And one day Tifa with her mom went to a market. And that's nothing interesting.
A farmer's market.
Just a farmer's market. Those are nice. That's cool.
What's a braderie in English?
A what now?
Yeah, you keep telling your story. I'll translate it.
There is no translation. Stop saying Dutch things. Anyway, so Tifa with her mom goes to the farmer's market, and one of the farmers has a like bucket out with his pet ducks.
A fair.
2 like beige, whitish pet ducks.
Really pretty.
Just paddling in the little bucket of water, just chilling, relaxing, enjoying the day. And you could go and pet them. And Tifa went and petted the ducks without me. And for, I think it's been 5 years now, every time she asks me, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for Easter? What do you want for birthday? I tell her, bring me to a place where I can pet ducks with you because I love ducks. They're adorable.
Can't confirm.
Guess who still hasn't gone to pet the ducks? It's me. It's me, people. Tifa says she loves me, but she still hasn't taken me duck petting.
I actually checked at petting zoos, but none have ducks.
I've never seen a petting zoo anywhere where I've been that has ducks that you can pet. Goats and like little sheep and stuff, yes, but never a duck. Yeah, and that's on you. I'd rather you would have never sent me the picture and lied to me that you didn't do it.
I will do that next time.
No, please don't. In hindsight, now that I know.
I will do it next time.
Have you tried going to any lake? I have tried so many times to, like, ducks waddle up to me and I'm like, oh my god, it's happening. And then they walk away. And I do not run after the duck because that's not how this is supposed to go. The duck needs to want to be petted.
Once I have...
The ducks at the lake are free, you can take them home.
Once I have fully earned Renata's trust, you may come and pet her.
Yes, please. I would love if you come home one day and you open your backpack and there's a duck in it. And it's just like peeking
What would
up.
be even better though is a raccoon. Because I just saw Watanaga's story about your friend in the museum who had to deal with a raccoon who snuck in. No, below.
That's adorable though.
There.
I mean,
raccoons are so cute.
If a raccoon sneaks in, you have to get the raccoon out again. But still, I mean, raccoons look adorable. Yeah. Agreed, the duck must consent. Yes. Don't just pick up random animals outside. If they come to you and it seems like a not dumb thing to do, go ahead. But if you need to run after them to catch them, no, they do not want you to touch them.
Like the worst thing kind of is like even if I get Renata's trust, I shouldn't pet her.
Yes. Because other people will not be as nice to her.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're not doing any wild animal a favor by doing that. Because there will be one asshole there.
Somebody's gonna steal your duck.
But it's so hard. He's so cute. Absolutely adorable. I'm kind of hoping she always comes alone. I'm kind of hoping at some point that she finds like a partner and then comes back and builds a nest there, and then we have like little ducklings walking around.
That would be adorable. That would make my heart melt. If I was working there and I would witness all of this, I would not be able to work. I would be doing other things with my time. I hope it works out. I hope it works out.
I hope she keeps coming back.
Colonel Sanders sent you to work to distract your coworkers. If you break off an arm, just glue it back on, put a little jacket over him, and you're good to go. Exactly. Video games have taught me this.
The thing is, I'm not sure if that would work. We have, or like 10 years ago, we had a sort of like a mascot, which was some guy, I don't even know who it was anymore. And we have like cardboard printouts of him, like human size, so they're quite big. And obviously, I claimed some of those for myself. Like when we moved buildings back then, I put post-its on all of them with my name on it. Tifa stole a guy,
basically. I mean, a cardboard cutout of a guy, but still a guy, you know.
And I dressed them up according to the season. Like during winter, I cut out like little winter hats, scarves. Now during summer, they have like the one-piece straw hats, sunglasses, they're holding beers. And all in all, like I keep moving them around and I keep dressing them up. Don't worry, I do have stuff to do at work.
I was gonna say, do you actually work at work? Because you have lots of creative downtime.
Because I always only tell the stories where I don't work.
Yeah, fair enough.
But in between, I do work. But regardless, I have these cardboards and I move them around. So people wouldn't probably be surprised anymore if I suddenly put a random statue in the office.
Tifa has created a haunted work environment, yes. A magical but haunted place.
I'm actually quite happy of the workplace because no matter where you look, it has a fingerprint of me somewhere. It has like my giant post-it arts in every corner you look. It has my little work boyfriends standing around.
Your what?
The cardboards.
What did you call them?
My little work boyfriends.
Your what?
They're no competition, don't worry.
If I ever see them, they'll burn. This one's mine. Get your cardboard cutout hands off of them.
Hey, you gotta feel good at work. I have a lot of fun at my work.
That is true. I work from home. I have all the fun I want.
But this is kind of the things why I like going into the office.
Yeah, Tifa is cheating with cardboard. Yeah, I've been told that I'm kind of a two-dimensional person. I guess I inspired this. It is what it is. Meanwhile, Groundhog has taught us that a rubric is an outline of how an assignment is graded. Thank you. I will try to work that into my vocabulary. Also, she did tell the teacher, because I was like, I don't know how exactly to fully explain this, but you wanted me to talk about it, so mission failed successfully, basically. That's still good. That's nice. And you? Once had a goose lay eggs in the courtyard of my high school and the dad was harassing students if they got too close. It was a thing.
Oh,
Geese are territorial as heck.
They're assholes. They're not like ducks.
If
They're
you see
asses.
geese with, I think the babies are called goslings. If you want trouble, step too close to them. They will attack you. And they will not think twice about that. In a way, I think that's adorable. No? I mean,
I guess.
There's a goose. I mean, geese aren't exactly small once they're fully grown. But they look at this like 6-foot human being and go like, I'm gonna fuck you up. Can they not, like, don't they have enough biting power to like break your fingers and stuff?
Goose?
Yeah.
No.
No?
No.
Am I
Biting
thinking of
power?
parrots?
No. I've gotten bitten by goose plenty of times.
Of course you've bitten
I think you're thinking of, I don't know the name in English. You know those birds that often like stand on a branch in the water and dry their wings? White.
Like a crane.
Yeah, kind of. They're like white. They have super nice eye patterns across the neck. Those have really
Raya in German.
No, not that Raya.
A heron. The thing with a really long neck?
Yes.
A heron.
And like these super nice eye.
I think you're
kind
thinking
of big.
Lucario from Pokemon.
I'll show you a picture. Like
Lucario
they have really sharp. They have really sharp beaks. What are they called in English?
Basically, don't touch wild animals if you're not prepared to like take care of a situation, because they can mess you up. Yeah. They don't know that they're small. I thought a swan can break a strong man's arm.
That is true.
Yeah.
Swans are really strong.
Once.
I said on Plenty, I can...
You can ride a swan. I mean, you shouldn't. It will hurt the swan too, but a big swan has enough power to drag you along. It's crazy.
They're massive. Also, I say I've sat on plenty of swans. It was my job, okay? I had to catch swans too. And it's easier
Not
if you
randomly.
like have to put a bag over their head so that they don't hurt themselves and stuff. Like if you sit on them and control their wings, because their wings have so much power.
Yeah, that's why they made swan boats.
No, swans were hurt.
We were once in Amsterdam many years ago. Did you fold a swan?
I have never had to fold a swan, fortunately.
Thankfully. We were once in Amsterdam many years ago, and we were just walking down a street near one of those canals, one of the grachten, as they're called over there. And suddenly...
Are you like forcing the G out?
Are you making fun of me for trying to learn your native language?
No, it just sounds really cute. You're just talking and then suddenly we're just walking past the grachten. It's like you were joking.
Tifa, if me speaking Dutch is funny, that's not because of me, it's because your language sucks. Anyway, we're walking down this place and suddenly it sounds like a helicopter is crashing next to us. It sounds like rotor blades going full power, trying to not like fall.
That was really cool.
And everybody stood still. People on their bicycles stopped dead in their tracks. Everybody looked for the sound. Everybody looked up. In fact, it was next to us on the water. It was the biggest swan I've ever seen. It was the Mike Tyson at peak capabilities in swan form, trying to take off on the water. And every time that thing flapped its wings, it was like an episode of Game of Thrones or a House of a Dragon or whatever. It echoed through the street.
It was really cool. It was like just
crazy.
above the water in like this higher bit of a... What's the English word for it?
She said gracht.
Yeah, but I didn't say...
A channel.
Column. A channel. And it like echoed off of the walls and off the buildings that were really close. It was kind of awesome.
Tifa was a swan type Pokemon trainer? Yes. Yes, that and what's the deer one called? Standler.
Oh, Standler.
Weird deer nowadays. And the other, the seasonal one. Saucebuck and Deerling. But only after they've been knocked out.
That was the only time I ever had to deal with a deer though.
Lucky you.
I've never dealt with live deers. Oh, and deerling.
That one word.
True, you also have deerling.
True. That one word made all the difference.
Well, it yeah. It kind of did.
Principal had to make an announcement telling students to stay away from the ducks. Yes, he said ducks multiple times. Did he not realize that it was a goose? Or...
I mean
they kind of
understandable.
They kind of look similar.
And regardless, you all know what's meant there. What is that?
What is that second emote, Darklord? Because I've seen it earlier and it
Go over it with your mouse.
On Google Chrome, which is what I'm using, it looks like an onion.
I was thinking Eclipse. Like the layers. Oh, not that.
Standler, a deer or a moose? Oh, I guess it's supposed to be a moon? I cannot tell. Is Standler a deer or a moose?
I'm trying to get the information by going over it with my mouse, but it doesn't do that with only that emote.
I'm checking Bulbapedia for you because I don't know either.
It's a big horn Pokemon.
Exactly. Odoshishi in Japanese. Not what we were looking for.
I don't think it's based on a moose or an elk.
According to Bulbapedia, it's a quadrupedal cervid Pokemon. What's a cervid? A deer. There you go. If I click the links in there. So, that thing.
Like if they went for moose, I want to say they'd have done the antlers very differently. Moose's antlers are like usually like these very thick, flat
I'm sorry.
things before they...
No, I have to interrupt you. If the plural of goose is geese, when the plural of moose is meese. You cannot tell me otherwise. That doesn't like sit well with me.
Moose? Mises.
In Europe they call mooses elk. I didn't know there was a difference. Or not a difference.
But we don't have mooses. Have you seen the size of a moose? We definitely don't have anything the size of a moose in Europe.
I can't wait for Pokemon Gain Straight, a region based on Canada. I hate it so much when I'm thinking a sentence and my mouth is trying to say all of it in like 1 or 2 words. Pokemon Go Community Day. That's what I was trying to say. You know what I also like when people are saying it? Recaps. Tifa. What happened the last time we played Higurashi, When They Cry, How, Chapter 1, Onikakushi, Episode 6.
We have finally... Oh no, last time on My Favorite Letter is X, we played Higurashi. No.
Yes, of course!
The time of the festival, the Watanagashi, was finally upon us after all this time. And we decided to go there with our friends, of course, which was lots of fun. While at the festival, we were of course playing some games like an eating contest, and we ran into
Tokimatite. We're playing the director's cut, which has some extra characters.
No. What's his name again?
I knew it until you started speaking and you said all the other names. I was like, it's Tomitake, it's Tomitake. And she's like, tomato, Tokuichi Towa, Tokimeki Memorial, Tomitake. Thank you.
Thank you. We ran into Tomitake and we invited him to be an honorary member of our club. For only the night.
Not we did, Mion specifically.
Well, technically it was Reina, I think, who came with the idea.
Yeah, we were all like, but he's leaving soon.
Basically that. After he was in, we decided to play a game of, you know, one of those shooting...
A shooting gallery game.
The shooting gallery thing where the person with the biggest prize would win.
Yeah.
Of course, Reina saw this giant ass plushie, which she really liked. A bear. So... Tomitake. I was like, Tokimeki?
Tornado potato.
One up.
Tornado potato, Togodamaru, Tokuichi Towa, Tokimeki Memorial. Yes, all of these 4 things came together and shaped a Tomitake.
Tomitake and Keiichi went head to head and tried to get the plushie for Reina. In the end, we, as in Keiichi, won and got it by shooting
just win.
3 guns at the same time.
We went full like Death Note 4D chess on it. We stopped time essentially. We asked for not 1 gun but 3. And instead of like reloading manually, he just basically shot all 3 within the same second kind of to create enough forward momentum to make the bear fall over.
So we gave it to Reina, of course.
Sick. Who then
dragged it along.
Who then gave us a hug and allegedly kissed us.
Which we can't remember. I want to say still, peck on the cheek, we don't know.
Still,
regardless.
it's kind of important.
After that, we all kind of went our own way, like everyone was trying to give us space with Reina before the
Yes, and
Shrine
Keiichi
Maiden
had several moments where he was like, oh yeah, I'm giving it to her because like it's funny to make fun of her. Why can't I be honest about my own feelings? I think Keiichi has a crush on Reina. What? What?
Usually it's me that comes with this, like...
He could have also had one on Mion, who is also nice to him and we spend a lot of time with.
Wasn't this
and
kind
we
of
have
clear
some
after the first episode?
Not necessarily. In a game where we are the 15-year-old boy character and essentially 99% of all like interactions we see are with girls.
They were completely different interactions though. Like usually I have this argument with you. Like I also feel like it's been pretty clear. And this is really confusing because like...
I got pretty hung up on him being all like what I called bullying to Reina and stuff.
Regardless.
I wouldn't have been shocked if in the end he had a thing for Reina. For Neon.
Yeah, imagine. But yeah, then it was time for the Shrine Maiden activity, which Rika was doing. Basically, it's like a ritual where they have a mattress or a futon that has been used in winter and collected all the diseases, and then they grab the hoe, and not just one from the street, like a farmer's hoe, like the tool, not the farm. I kid. Oh come on, I had to. She had to grab a farmer's hoe and basically like slash into the futon, and I'm not sure what the reasoning behind it was to...
The idea is that now it's summer and the futons that the people like brought or donated for the thing, those have absorbed the illnesses, the sicknesses of the people that had them over the winter. And now they're being hacked apart so that you can get the cotton out of them to then send it down the river.
Yes.
Yes.
So we, after that was done, we all went to the river, we got a piece of the futon, and then we did the like head, shoulders, belly button and whatever, and we touched it like everywhere, and then we went
3
like...
times.
Oh, thank you, oyashiro-sama.
And we learned that there is a guardian deity, which Tifa called Ditty. A guardian deity who can curse you and also bless you, and it is oyashiro-sama.
That's what it was.
I had to scroll up. Oyashiro-sama, who is being appeased during this ritual.
And after we thanked him, we threw the cotton in the water and we watched it all float away while we cheer for pollution.
And then Tifa was basically already falling asleep, and I was like, this has to be the end of the episode. All of the episodes so far were relatively short.
It kept going.
And then suddenly we interrupted Tornado Potato and his date. Who were just standing next to us by the river somehow.
Well, we lost our friends, and then we decided to just stand there, enjoy the river. Then potato, tornado, potato.
Onikakushi-san.
Obama-sama ran into us with a new woman who lives in the village.
We've never seen her before.
We've never seen her before. We were trying to think of her name, and I don't recall if she introduced herself. I don't think she did.
No, blonde
because we were
lady.
like, oh, I'm trying to remember her name, and I was like, oh, it's obvious. I forgot her name.
Yeah.
And they gave me this sheepish grin, and blamed it on the fact that I only just lived there, but they didn't say it. Then we asked them about the history of the festival and what has happened in town, like the brutal dismemberment murder. They then continued to tell us the story about how every year at the Watanagashi festival someone dies. No. What do you know? That is exactly what it is.
There was a bit of build-up.
It was a whole history thing.
No, they had a moment about earlier when they met Tomitake-san. Keiichi said something that seemed kind of disrespectful to town life and Hinamizawa in particular, like there's nothing here, there's no shops and stuff. But he meant to say something positive in the end, he just didn't get to say it, but Tornado Potato thankfully understood. So now they continued the conversation, kind of. Well, at least in Keiichi's head he did. When he was like, oh yeah, but there is stuff here. It's nice. So when he bumped into them, he figured now is the moment, this person is leaving anyway, and like my friends don't tell me what's happening, so I'm gonna ask him.
But that's basically
and
what
Tomitake-san obliged and told him, yes, 4 years ago this happened. And then Keiichi was like, oh, that's it, cool, bye. And then we're like, yeah, but you don't know the rest, do you?
Keiichi didn't try to leave. He kept asking and pushing them, and he was like annoyed. They didn't tell him more. He was like, "Oh, you're not ready to know everything." And then they were like, "I am ready. Like, tell me."
And then Tomitake-san went like, "Well, every year at the night of a Watanagashi, somebody dies. It has happened every single year so far. Like."
And it's usually a non-believer or someone who did not attend the festival. So
technically, it's been 2 people twice because somebody got killed and then their spouse or whatever also
the wife
died.
Committed suicide. Doesn't really count.
2 people dead.
That yes, but
is the outcome.
It's different.
Yes. And blonde lady seemed getting really weird about it, and I cannot yet tell if she was just
she's evil.
If she's like playing into it because she's evil, of course, or because she likes making weird 15-year-old boys at night feel kind of weird, which I can kind of get, I guess, or if there's some other reason. Maybe she's just like playing along.
We saved somewhere along that because it kept going.
Yes, it kept going and going and going, which is great because now we're finally getting to like a horror part of the game. So like stuff's finally happening, but it's like a lot of it at once. Also, during the festival, after the bit with Rika doing the hoeing of the futon, there was like this flash to white and then like weird speech about the boy doing things and
something really random. I forgot.
It seemed awfully random, and it seemed to go back into the very beginning of the game about some person killing another person. Like, strange.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the question is, do we believe in, what was his name? Oyashiro-sama? Yeah, call him Obama-sama at this point. I've never even seen him. Yeah, the local guardian deity, and whether or not there is a curse. Yes. Basically that's it. Keiichi's gonna fall in love with Tornado Potato by the end of the game. Not the man, a physical tornado potato.
I mean, potatoes can be pretty sexy. If you see what you can all do with that. Imagine all of that in one tornado.
I would date a French fry. Yeah. I also imagine now tornado potatoes actually like solving famines and stuff. Like imagine you live in an area where there's like food scarcity and suddenly a tornado potato heads your way. Hopefully no one gets hurt, but still.
I would not date a French fry, but I would definitely go for the Herzogin Kartoffel. Wow, what's that in English?
I don't
like the potato turds. They look like little turds.
Over here in Europe, we have this thing. It's like kind of like a croquette. It's like mashed potato with some butter and stuff in it.
Piped.
But it's piped.
But it looks like a turd in the end.
According to Tifa, it does. It's piped on a baking sheet. Usually there's like some breading around it, and then they get like deep fried, and then you buy them frozen, pre-baked, and you just chuck them in the oven, bake them. They're basically croquettes, but like the shape and stuff makes them kind of fancy, and they're pretty tasty. Twice baked potatoes. For real. But name doesn't imply that at all.
Does it have the turd shape? No, that's not it.
Google image search doesn't agree.
I know exactly.
It's similar. We're gonna post a picture in Discord later. Herzogin and Kartoffel.
What's the English?
I don't know.
Like in Dutch we have the same, but it's just a literal translation. Wait,
my stomach
do that and type English behind it.
English?
Yeah.
English.
Usually you get Duchess potatoes.
Duchess's potatoes. But I think that's just a literal translation, and that's not a real food item.
I'm sure it's a food item. Now you Google that. Duchess potatoes.
Duchess potatoes. There you go. Potatoes. Duchess potatoes. Now you can make them yourself.
Potato turds.
As Tifa calls them. Indeed.
So tasty.
Yeah.
We haven't had that in so long though.
Just keep it running for trends until it loses meaning. I figured it would. I did not expect Duchess potatoes to be the actual word.
You can have so much fun with that.
Or not, if you actually try to get a message across.
I mean, yeah, but then you don't put it through a translator like 10 times.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Now I want to play Higurashi after like multiple translations. Twice baked as you pipe it back into the skin. Yeah, you don't do it with that.
We did that once with, I think, sweet potato.
And I hated that dish. It was not nice.
Well, I think we shouldn't have done it with sweet potato.
Yeah, I don't know why you did.
I don't know.
Sometimes Tifa makes weird choices. Talking about weird choices. Higurashi.
Top one.
Where were we? Oh yeah. Right in the middle of a conversation. So now we get to see strange blonde lady.
Evil-sama.
Also, for a game that does very little in terms of... Press it again.
Here she looks even more evil because of the side eye.
Yeah. But here she doesn't look evil at all.
Here she doesn't look evil at all. But here, she's evil. Evil.
Actually, she looks kind of like she's looking through you.
She looks kind of like she's looking down on us.
Not obviously
Slightly
evil,
smug.
but like...
But in the other two, evil.
Like I could take you.
Evil.
What was I trying to say? Oh yeah, for a game that has surprisingly little in terms of like individual artwork, I was shocked when we got a specific shot of those two at like a Dutch angle kind of thing, like tilted, like they do in horror movies, and blonde lady basically doing this, like... That's kind of weird. Don't know why they did that.
There she looked super evil.
Yes. Like she was about to stab us in the kidneys. The French teachers show us funny YouTube videos that ran things through Google Translate many times to tell us to not use it. The thing is, it's okay to use it a bit if you use it right.
We used to do that at school as well, when Google Translate was just a thing and the translations were like utter
pretty
crap.
bad, yeah.
Like it works especially if you use like an Asian translation. And
like
then,
German to
go back.
Vietnamese to English back to German or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like you get the best results then.
Yeah. Basically, the more different the languages are from each other, if you do like French, Spain, English, it will still kind of work. But if you do like German, Vietnamese, English, Indian, Danish, German, it's gonna be like garbled.
Yeah, a language that uses a different sort of alphabet.
Not even just that, just a different like root.
Yeah, but then it completely gets better. I haven't done it in years though. I would think most translators have evolved to make that a bit better by now.
Yeah. They had two versions of the characters? Well,
yeah, we learned that yesterday.
Thanks,
I think Psycho mentioned it.
Thanks to 7th mod, which I need the stream title. It's in there. Didn't I make a command for this?
You can see the original art of a frame, the remake, and the version we're currently playing.
I want to say I made a command for this. Give me 1 second.
Do you still need it at this point though?
I mean, yeah, because I had a link in it. Nope, can't find it, sorry. But yes, we use 7th mod, which is the recommended way of playing nowadays. I pressed the button when I shouldn't have. So during most gameplay moments, you can swap between the different art styles. So this is from the console release. This is from the original PC remake, and this is from when the game actually got released, how it looked.
The current version is definitely best.
Yeah, people basically unanimously agree that the console style is the best one. Because this looks like
it really is
nicely done manga anime. This is like a bit too stylized for me. It's very like... It looks like somebody put a lot of work into it and they should have stopped earlier.
Especially with the main characters, if you look at them, we know they are kids, but in this style, they are like baby kids.
Yeah, they look very cute.
They look like younger, which is, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of the art style.
And here people get flash mittens. Yeah. Yeah. They look like standard anime to me. It depends on which animes you watch. I mean, the art styles
The
differ,
remake
obviously.
art? No.
I prefer the console
So
style.
this seems more like standard
Yayoi
anime
hands.
to me.
Yes, yayoi hands. But for everybody. Everybody got them grabbers going. Original remake both do the skin-tight clothing thing that bothers me. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta paint your abs.
I mean, he isn't even wearing a shirt in the remake.
Console is best if you ask me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back to the line I skipped accidentally. Oh, that's mean. Since we loaded the game, it doesn't even like show you the previous text log.
Makes sense.
Okay. So I pressed on earnestly, asking more questions so that I could convince myself. Then, Tomitake-san, what about the priest who died after that? The one with the unknown illness. That also happened on the day of the festival. It's even easier to explain what happened to the Shinto priest. The Watanagashi is a really big event that happens once a year. It was probably from all the build-up stress. Or it may have been because of a pre-existing condition.
Oh yeah, it was a thing like, oh, if someone dies every day on this festival, how can police not do anything about it? But then, technically, every death has a logical explanation on how it can happen.
And they're all being investigated separately, not as a connected case, which is what Tomitake-san explains well. I mean, if you look at them individually, it all checks out, right? Because
then it's nothing weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people die if it just happens to be on the same day.
His poops are vacuum sealed in that shirt.
Yeah,
it has one of those
annoying
like strips that are supposed to be stuck to your skin. Annoying as hell.
Like models and actresses and stuff do that when they need to wear something that is super skin tight or it's supposed to look that way. Like you basically tape your body into it. You tape the clothing to your body.
Now, these things usually have like this.
Yeah, but that doesn't completely contour your shape necessarily. But it was an unknown illness. It's hard to believe such a thing could exist with all our advances in medicine. It's just an exaggeration. Rumors making rumors. Anyone would get worked up over having incidents happen 2 years in a row. Sudden death is quite unnatural, though. Of course, the police ordered an autopsy because of the strange way he died. But there wasn't enough for them to open a full investigation, you know. Turns out it was just a sudden death due to illness. The priest's wife committed suicide, correct? What about that? I believe I already explained that. Everyone was shaken up by the incidents happening for a third year. Those who are of strong faith were quick to believe it was the work of a curse. Of course, that included the priest's wife. Apparently they found a suicide note that said something like, "My death will quell Oyashiro-sama's anger." This gives me Trauma Team vibes suddenly.
Nah, not at all.
No, the later ones. Like, oh, I believe I need to be doing these things caused by an illness.
Nah,
Not the same. Hard to explain. I stick with it. Body tape, used it for theater sometimes. And dance. Thank you for knowing what I'm talking about.
I want to believe she didn't use it, but...
Maybe she really wants to impress Tomato-sama.
That could be.
Well then, how about the next incident with a housewife? That happened on the day of Watanagashi too. The perpetrator has already been caught and the case has been closed. Turns out it was just some nutjob trying to continue the legacy of the Hinamizawa curse. Then, how about the incident the next year?
Oh, that's this year.
Oh yeah, this year is the next year. Tomitake-san gave a hearty laugh. Nothing will happen. Not this year. There was never a curse to begin with.
Non-believer.
Why do I have a feeling that these two are gonna end up dead? Like,
could be.
Killing off one of her girls seems like a bit much. You know what I'm saying? They've been established as kind of integral characters.
That doesn't
They got
matter.
the most screen time.
That doesn't matter.
It would make sense to kill off one of them, which would be rough because they're just kids. With these two, especially with her now only ever being shown, she has no bra on and doesn't want to risk an incident. She doesn't have it on, that's worse. I didn't even think of that. Or maybe she wants to risk an incident because she wants hot guy over there to see her.
To be fair though, she could be having straps under there.
Yeah, that's true. Just like very on the side of her shoulders. Which would also seem annoying to me because what if it
Like
falls
one of
down?
those tin straps. Could be exactly under that shirt.
It's just a group of people believed. It's just that a group of people believed it was the explanation for a string of coincidences. My internal computer finally got itself back on track. I felt a bit embarrassed by how childish I'd become after losing control and panicking. I can see very clearly now that Keiichi-kun really does love Hinamizawa. Even if Oyashiro-sama's curse actually did exist, I can't imagine that Keiichi-kun would become a target.
In my mind it just went like, I can see clearly now, the rain is gone.
Reina is gone? Spoilers! What? Don't you dare. Don't.
Like there are some lines in
If
songs.
they kill off Reina, especially after the whole, like she hugged him, people afterwards told Keiichi she kissed him, and Keiichi like, oh, why can't I admit my own feelings? It's gonna be Reina, isn't it?
Also sus things. We haven't said anything sus yet.
Welcome to the internet.
Take a look around.
It's an amazing song. I love Bo Burnham. Use it when I had to wear a bra strapless to make sure it doesn't fall. Unless you want it to fall when you're out with your
When hot potatoes are
significant hot potato tornado. I felt very relieved. I should probably just forget everything I heard tonight. I'll greet Reina and Mion tomorrow with the same smile as always. They'd probably also like tonight to end without incident so they can continue on tomorrow without having worried me. Perhaps seeing my change in attitude, the woman who had been listening in stretched. Perhaps seeing my change in attitude, the woman who had been listening in stretched as she got up from the rock she was sitting on.
Well then,
Oh yeah, that's her name, woman.
I should be getting back.
Oh goodness, I think I might have gone on a bit too long.
Yeah, this conversation was like 45 minutes.
Yeah, and we didn't even stall in between. There were so few people compared to the crowd from before. I could only make out of... It's getting hard to see the words with you doing
okay,
this.
Fine. I won't swing it in front of your face. Give me.
You know when you're sitting in a car and like your dad is trying to like drive and you turn on a light and then he goes, oh my god, you're gonna kill us all, that's illegal. And you know it's bullshit? This is that moment for me. I know you're not doing anything to my eyes, but at the same time, you're doing it to my eyes. Thank you. There were so few people compared to the crowd from before. I could only make out a few groups of families enjoying the cool evening air. I looked at my watch. It seemed like we talked for the better part of an hour. You were right on time. Or right on your mark with the 45 minutes.
Yeah, I know, because trust me, I wanted to sleep.
Deal with it.
I was like, finish up. We can continue this in the next chapter.
Less complaining, more ready. Oh, sorry. I should have put it in terms for you to understand.
Oh, thank you.
Seriously? That wasn't even a good fake yawn.
But the thing is, now we're not in a hurry, so now I don't mind. Oh, wait. Okay, now I'm done.
I always have the opposite, telling my dad to let me handle the phone and all directions and focus on the road. Same. My dad thankfully has gotten better with that when he's driving. But he used to be the one that would try to do things that would make him not focus on the road. And I don't like that with anybody. So
I just don't interfere.
you pretend to be sleeping,
Yeah, usually.
which I get.
Didn't you come along with your friends, Keiichi-kun? Not going to look for them?
Oh yeah, they might all be looking for me. You're quite the scoundrel making the girls look for you.
I see you, Keiichi-kun. Have a nice night. You too, Jiro-san. I'll see you a bit later.
Mitake-san seems to be quite the scoundrel himself. So his name is Jiro. After dusting off her backside, she disappeared into the crowd of people still busy cleaning up the shrine grounds.
That's nice, cleaning that up immediately.
Well, she did this.
Yeah, she disappeared into the crowd, cleaning up the shrine grounds.
Yeah, so she walked over to the people, doesn't mean she helped.
I'm not talking about her. I said that's nice, cleaning up immediately. I didn't say her necessarily.
Okay. Oh, yeah, now I get it. Yes, it's a good idea to clean up after yourselves. Yeah,
I mean, I would have done it more like the next morning.
Yeah, after the celebration's all over. Focus on the night.
Like with
Enjoy
New
it.
Year's, you do that on 1st of January when you wake up.
Yeah.
Keiichi-kun, so sorry.
In her place, Reina came running over. I could see all the others behind her. Speak of the devil.
Just remember using old printed out directions. Yes!
Don't miss that. Yes.
I remember sitting in a car with several pages because the navigation bit that you would now have on a TomTom where they go like, go left, go right,
In
was
400
printed out.
meters,
And then
stick
you're
to
like,
the left.
in 350 meters, go right. And then you're like, okay, so I went right here and then it's like, on the next roundabout, go left. And then you're like, did I already mention this point? Is this step 6? Ah, I love those times.
I'm old enough to remember sitting in the co-driver's seat and having a map open, like a physical map to fold out.
Those were the
and
days.
having to call out like where to go, like head out on exit so and so to go onto highway number whatever into this direction, and then at the fourth one we need to get out. Stuff like that. That's how old I am.
Witch of Pandemonium, welcome in.
Happy
How are you
Wednesday.
doing? Welcome to the world of Higurashi.
What this? This is Higurashi. Yeah, getting dated any percent. I don't know yet. The harem route has been started early, I guess. That was episode 5, I want to say.
So far we're going with all of them.
We're keeping our options open.
Is this blind?
Yes. I know. I mean, I know that Higurashi is a thing that exists, as in the game's been around for a while. I've never seen anything about it first time playing it.
I've seen the anime in 2008 as I've looked up this week.
And she don't remember much.
Yeah, it's been a while, so technically play.
Yeah, she has
blind
virtually no memory.
playthrough. I
Yeah.
do know.
Clearly doesn't know much.
Hey,
Yeah.
do you know how long ago 2008 is?
Yeah, people born in 2008 are now 16.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Like that's how long ago 2008 is.
Couple more years and you might be in, like when you're hiring people, you might be talking to people born in 2008.
Oh, that's kind of a weird thing, isn't it?
Yeah. The first time, not too long ago, I was on a job interview to help out the people that were running the thing. And I saw the CV and it said born in 2000 something. And mentally I went, we can't, why?
That's way too
This
young.
has to be a typo. We can't hire a 12-year-old. I was like, oh shit, no, sorry, forget I said anything. Yeah.
Groundhog, thanks for hanging. Kick butts at whatever
Yes,
you're
please.
going to do. And hopefully see
Remember
you
to
soon.
eat more nuggets. Do it. Do it.
Yeah,
Don't
such a
remind
weird
me
thing.
that I'm old. It happens. Time is a thing for everybody.
It really is.
Rika, best girl. Yeah. I wanna say, I agree.
I think so far, Satoko or Mion are my favorites.
Let me think. As a reading this and like as a purely perceiving it perspective, Rika. As if I was Keiichi, Mion. Yeah.
Fair.
Mion doesn't repeat half her sentence every other sentence. And I like her tomboyish, go-get-em energy. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna calculate that, Evie.
Guys, can rest easy. I'm a numbers-ye-old witch. Compared to me, you're all spring chickens. I see numbers and you have like math things in there and then my head goes...
I think I've had my portion of math this year already. Like, my limit is like done for. I'm
Still
okay.
young is what I like to tell myself, but then I remember I've been waiting 10 years for No Game No Life Season 2 now.
No Game No Life is never gonna happen. Have you seen the movie though?
The fact that we still don't have a Season 2 is a travesty to mankind.
It's not going to happen though.
It should though.
I think the movie is all we're getting. I agree. I fully agree. It absolutely should. But that hope is like long gone. It's long gone. I'm just saying.
Math is very fun. I had fun doing the inverse of a modular matrix.
So,
I'm happy I can pronounce the words. Like...
Math is not our thing.
It's
everyone's thing here, apparently, but not ours.
I can multiply. I can add numbers. That's the extent of my math.
My bad, Kei-chan. We got so caught up in our discussion.
Discussing what? I'd completely forgotten about them while caught up in my own conversation, so we were even.
We're not saying that.
So Tomitake was with you.
Why do you again not do the honorifics?
Oh yeah, I somehow don't even see that.
You're so native level Japanese, you don't even see honorifics anymore.
We are like this close. This close. And besides, off screen I asked and she said I can skip on it.
Sure. 20 years and we can ask Aya to generate an anime by feeding it the light novel. Yes. Then again, I would prefer it if people get paid to actually make it. Like, I like people working on things and putting their love and energy and devotion into it. Yeah.
That's true.
And this works out perfectly.
We still need to settle the shooting gallery competition.
Yeah, we talked about this last time too. Where are the penalties?
I thought we kinda skipped over that.
But there has to be a penalty, otherwise it's not a club activity game.
Yeah, but even with the eating competitions, there wasn't a penalty.
I thought this is all part of it.
You mean it's all part of it? No, the rifle thing was its own thing.
Isn't an activity in the club only complete once the punishments have been dealt out?
Yeah, but during the thingy we didn't have punishments either. And now they go like, oh, we still need to settle this one.
So?
Well, that's only one.
Now, only half here because I'm learning C++. That's perfectly fine. Please enjoy. Good luck. I can't help you with that. Sorry.
What you will absolutely learn here is pronunciations.
Yeah, and how to not do it.
Exactly.
That's right. So I guess I'm gonna end up dead last. Fade to black and punishments.
I still feel like Reina, who got the thing handed to her because she missed,
technically is the winner as per the rules that were laid out earlier.
The loser.
No, the winner. The person who ends up with the best prize.
Oh yeah, but we didn't say yet that Keiichi giving the plushie to her counts. That was just us talking.
Let's find out.
But I still feel like she should also have nothing. But you know, that's how it is.
Let's find out. In the end, after my dramatic victory, Rika-chan was the last challenger, but there weren't many targets left. The ones remaining were all tiny and difficult to hit. She did take her time and aim, but all 3 shots completely missed. She was to end up sharing the loser's crown with Tomitake-san. It's like, this sentence doesn't make sense until I finished it. However, she did her little meeping cry in front of the owner and he turned to mush instantly. She was given a pack of gum as a consolation prize. Her methods were a bit audacious, but she did avoid being the loser rather magnificently. Me.
That's true.
Because I'm like,
So cute.
Yes. If you want a gold medal and give it away, you still won a gold medal.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if we stick
Fair point.
to the standards we gave to Rena now, because Rena missed. She missed all of it. But the owner was like, oh, you missed. So because you're so
Not
cute,
even any of
here,
that.
have a package of candy. And suddenly, she has a reward.
Not even any of that. I believe Mion's exact words were, the person ending up with the biggest prize. Not the person winning the biggest prize, the person ending up with the biggest prize. And that's
yeah, but
Reina.
then by that thing, yes, Reina has the biggest prize.
Yes.
But we're not counting the plushie. Because otherwise Keiichi would now also be at the bottom. And they're not counting Keiichi at the bottom because he gave away the plushie. So he has nothing.
Reina's kiss counts as a prize. You could argue that.
Oh, smooth.
Smooth. Very smooth.
But it's about size. And it's like,
Metaphorical size.
gone.
Did you just take somebody's kiss and blow it away into the ether? Why do you hate love? Why? Ah yes, semantics. What a fun way to BS your way out of anything. I fully agree. But given how them playing president and old maid turned out, I would imagine that these little tiny
things should
details
count.
matter the most.
I feel like it should, but obviously...
Come to think of it, Rika-chan is quite the trickster.
I have no idea what Keiichi is talking about.
Of course not.
Now then, it's decided that Tomitake-san is dead last.
Everyone cheered and applauded. Ooh, tornado potato! Tomitake-san smiled wryly, slightly bewildered. What's the punishment though?
Death.
Is that
So-
why everybody is afraid of them?
Tomitake-san, are you ready? What? No. Penalty time.
For real though, if it turned out that... I mean, it's been established that the people in Hinamizawa are afraid of the game club because of their destructive force at the Watanagashi. So if it now turned out that these 4 girls are the killers and everybody else just like accepts that somebody will die at the end of a night because of them, that would be such a twist.
That would be funny.
If it's written well, I could get on board. I think it's too much. I don't think it's gonna happen. But the game flipping basically from, oh, like, yeah, happy-go-lucky, slice of life, ha ha ha, classmates, we're murderers. It's like, I could get into it. Huh? Oh, I completely forgot about that. Too naive, Tomitake-san. This is why you've got to avoid losing in our club. Mion pulled a felt tip marker from her pocket. Oh, it's that. Show him some mercy, Mion. At least use a washable marker. A permanent one is too harsh. He has to go back to Tokyo tomorrow like that.
It just has to be permanent. Water-based marker would come off in the laundry.
In the laundry?
I wouldn't
Who
say...
washes their face in the laundry? Is this a Japanese thing? I'm too European to understand.
I want to say a translation mistake.
Possibly. Whoa, what's this? Please take it easy on me. Olafus pinned his arms behind his back and Mion approached him with a marker in one hand.
And squip, squip, squip.
But she didn't write on Tomitake-san's face.
Oh.
She wrote on the shirt he was wearing.
If only we pressed A, then we would have realized. She did
Okay.
indeed mean laundry.
Question. In all the artwork, that's a dark shirt. I want to argue black.
Maybe it's a white marker.
I hope so. Hindsight is 20/20. Yes.
Or in
yes,
other
yes.
words, afterwards, you look a cow in the ass.
As the Dutch say.
But yeah, the marker on a black shirt doesn't make a lot of sense.
I mean, that's the perfect non-punishment.
I guess.
It's like putting a white chalk on a white sweater like this. It's like, oh no, now there's white on my white. You'd better have your big break this year, Mion. Reina took up the marker next. Show me your photos next time, okay? Reina. It was a little heartwarming and I just had to laugh.
That is kind of sweet. Shame no one can read it.
This is more like a farewell card than a penalty.
I'm not as soft as the rest. I'll make sure this is a proper penalty.
And then she drew an anatomically correct penis and scrotum on his face.
Tiny dicks.
Dead last. Satoko.
I think that's a nice one.
Try harder next time, Rika.
Wait, did you guys disable voice acting?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Because we're also reading it out, and when we have to wait for it to be said in Japanese, and then we read it again. It's like
we wanted to do with, but there's
longer.
no English one available.
Unless I messed something up. And with us already taking as long as we do, we didn't want to stretch it out even more.
Yeah, so that's why we decided to just do it ourselves.
Here you go, Keiichi-san.
I couldn't decide what to write, but based on what kind of penalty this was probably the most appropriate. Come back and play again, Keiichi. Tomitake-san was silent the entire time. At first he was quite bewildered, but now he had a different look on his face. So I have to wear this all the way back to Tokyo as a part of a penalty?
You're not allowed to change at all. Not one bit.
And they're great actors too.
Thank you.
Thank you. We can argue about that. The voice actors for Hiku and Umin, if I pronounce correctly, are some of the best voice acting in existence. I mean, yes, we have listened to a few lines, but for the way we play, it just doesn't really work. Because then it would take way too long.
Plus, this way, if somebody is having their first experience of Higurashi by watching us, they have an incentive to play the game for themselves and give some money to the developers.
That's also true.
Buy the games, play them yourself with voice acting enabled. It's pretty good from what we've heard. Otherwise, we wouldn't know.
Me. If I was playing this offline, I would have played with.
Yeah, same.
Of course. You'd better wear it all the way home.
So, does he not get to change his, clothing anymore?
I mean, he could still change for a bit, and then when he goes home... We don't know if he goes home, tomorrow, or supposed to.
I hope his train, bus, flight, whatever it is, isn't in the evening, because it's night now. So, Tomitake only brought one shirt with him. That's the only thing we've ever seen him in, but it's been 2 weeks since we last saw him. So
he's like me, he just buys 10 of the same shirt.
Possibly.
I would say so. And yes, that was a nice argument. I didn't think of that at all.
You're welcome.
You could wear it when you come back. It would be nice.
He appeared deeply moved. Embarrassment mixed with a wealth of other emotions made him turn a bright red.
No.
I did something similar. A couple years ago I moved teams at work. So during one of our last get-togethers with my old team, we played Viking chess, or Cub, K-U-B. Basically you have these different shapes of wooden figures, you place them in rows and then you throw a thing to try to tip them over. You can play it with 2 people or a bigger group. It's pretty fun. And I enjoyed it a lot, and my colleagues gifted me a set of Viking chess to play whenever.
If only we had friends to play it with.
And then I looked at the thing, and then I looked at the team, and then the person who gave it to me, I was like, I'm gonna do something that sounds incredibly arrogant and tell you I don't want this. I have to give it back to you. And everyone's kind of offended, because why wouldn't you? I was like, I just did the math, and there are exactly the same amount of like pieces to play with as we have people in the team. So if I could all ask you to sign one of the things and then give it back to me, that would mean the world to me.
That's really sweet.
And they did. And now that's in our living room in the sideboard.
Yeah,
and I
it's under
haven't
the
dared
TV, I
touch it
believe.
since then. I have a signed Viking chess that I will never ever play with because it means too much to me. But I have it. Yeah. I will punish spoilers more ruthlessly than Mion enforces any punishment and with certainty exceeding even the rat. Thank you. Thank you. So will I.
Well,
Understood?
for you it's harder to find a spoiler.
Fair enough.
I've got Evie's amount.
Yes, and a swift one at that.
Has saved us quite a few times in Danganronpa.
Yes. Understood. I'll wear this the next time I come here. I promise. Everyone cheered and applauded. It was the finest parting gift possible for a buddy heading out tonight. I saw the woman who was with Tomitake-san standing near the festival grounds. It seemed Tomitake-san noticed her too and knew it was time to leave.
Seems like your guest is waiting.
And then everybody clapped. Yes. They don't know, don't worry. Yes. I mean, first time playing it, I have no idea.
Just confuses them. Yeah, you're right
Yes.
about that.
Congratulations. No one reacted to my joke with Rod, sadly.
Well, the thing is, you said if you know what I mean, but I do not know what you mean.
I reference random shit from random games, anime, whatever all the time, and usually no one notices.
It doesn't
Sorry.
help that my memory, when it comes to these things, is quite bad sometimes too. Isn't it about time?
Yeah, that's certainly how it seems. Tomitake-san headed off towards her and seemed to apologize for making her wait.
Bye.
We all shouted stuff at Tomitake-san. Tornado potato. Each time we did, he looked back and waved his hand.
That's kind of sweet.
Stop stalling him, he's trying to get his bomb chikawawa on. Or play Perch Night or whatever, I guess.
Still, it's sweet, it's sweet.
Eventually he faded into the darkness of the night, out of sight. It was quite the casual farewell. This wasn't the first time any of us had seen someone off. They had done the same thing many times before.
He's gone. Well, it's about time we take off too.
Rika-chan had to stay behind with the other committee members since they were having a meeting. Satoko was tagging along with her. I headed back home with the usual suspects.
And off
I'm
we
so
go.
sad now you can't hear Jotaro from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure VA in this game.
Oh, he's in this. Who does he voice?
I wouldn't recognize it anyway because I watched the dub. Sorry.
Oh, no, did we? No, true. We watched that one in English.
Seasons 1 and 2 we watched in English.
Fair enough.
Daisuke Ono voices Akasaka and Battler. Filthy dub watcher. I'll take it. It's okay with me.
It doesn't happen often though, I have to say. Like, I'm more of a subber. Jack's more of a dubber, and with the rare things we watch together, we often go for dub. I'm gonna say something even worse, but I also don't care so much about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's more like a background thing to listen to for me, so I also didn't really care that it was in English.
I watched it because I wanted to understand where the memes came from, and then I watched the first 2 chapters. I'm like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, we still finished it, but like it was more like a background thing than, oh, let's binge this.
Spoilers, not spoilers for JoJo's. They kind of lost me when they went with a Nazi guy. Like, I understand you all have a motive to work together, but... oh well. The walk back was quite lively with talk of a day's war stories. Should have done this, should have done that kind of stuff.
Also, the festival's only 1 day, right?
Oh, good question. Yeah. I mean, it would make sense, I guess, because the idea is to cleanse your world from evilness.
I mean, yeah, but it's a lot of work for 1 day.
Yeah. So is New Year's Eve.
That is true, but that doesn't come with all the stalls and the festivities and the organizing.
Have you seen the fireworks and drone shows around the world?
Yeah, I guess. I feel like it's not the same.
I cut through your words.
I feel like it's not the same.
Objection.
I'm just saying.
Let's hold back from the reference, on the reference from Future when they cry stuff. Of course, I'm a hypocrite and do my own stuff because I possess the required subtlety. Thank you very much, and I agree. Reina and I parted ways with Mion, and then it was just the two of us. Then we...
Oh, I'll do it in the sound.
So, you hear cicadas. What I hear is cicadas and somebody basically doing this in my ear. I get it, you're fidgeting, I would do the same thing, but can you not do it so close to my ear?
I will do my best.
Then we got to my house and I parted ways with Reina as well. Wait, he isn't even bringing her home first. What kind of a traditional 80s boy is he?
Not
It's
really
already
necessary.
pretty late. Are you alright by yourself?
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. It's close. I'm going to run too.
If you run into some weirdo, just yell.
If I do shout, will you come and save me? Maybe? Maybe?
She's gonna die, isn't she?
Mm.
If I hear you.
Okay. I mean, that's a fair answer.
If I hear you, if I'm not sleeping, if I'm not taking a shit, if I'm not... In VS, the cicadas are coming, that is true. Beware, I guess.
I do enjoy them if you're like walking over a path and you hear them in the bushes beside you.
Yeah, but I can leave.
But if you're like laying in the grass and you're listening to them,
get
it's
so
like...
itchy.
Yeah, it's like, are they next to me? On me? Under me? Like, then it's like, okay, no, I'm good. Like, I'm not a fan of laying in the grass because I feel like every time I do, ants get all over me. At least there's always this one ant, you know, that finds the way up your leg and then you feel like you're laying in a nest.
Yeah, I don't like it. What Evie said, I hope you read the fine print on that redeem because it's just to announce that you're drinking, not making us.
But I'll join you. Cheers.
In case you did read it, haha, tricked you. Black tea and wine surely is the best. Never had that combination.
Together.
Or independently. I don't know.
Or that. That could be...
Oh, okay, I'll scream loud enough so you can hear me.
He's gonna die, isn't she? Merrily spinning her arms around at high speed, Reina dashed off. She was fine. In that mode, not even an adult could stand against her. Reina's cheerful presence disappeared and it finally became quiet again. The curse that not a soul mentioned, even under their breath. The more I learned about it tonight, the more unsettling it became.
Do you think his parents are already on?
It didn't show on any of their faces, but they were probably all quite concerned about it as well. But if nothing happens tonight, then it all ends up just being crazy talk. Nothing will happen. Nothing bad. Nothing at all.
What's wrong, Keiichi? Why are you standing in a place like that? Come inside, you'll catch a cold.
Oh, so they are on.
It was my mom. Did you go, Mom? To the Watanagashi festival?
In the end, your father didn't wake up. So I missed it. Wow. A little disappointing.
Mom stuck her tongue out with a bit of embarrassment, with a bit of an embarrassed look on her face.
That's a shame.
Like, I've never seen somebody do that outside of anime.
I feel like it also doesn't really work outside of anime.
I don't know, it could work. I've just never seen somebody do it in real life. Ever. Not once. Save. Click.
Oh yeah, you saved on the second page for some reason.
Yes. 4 new tips.
Yep.
Hojo's couple's falling incident, the terminal illness death of Shinto priest Furude, housewife murder, and radio log. Willing to bet something bad is gonna happen to one of the adults.
Is that like ejecting? It's like, he's the murderer! He's the murderer! Like, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of adults. There's a lot.
Are you shaming Moternut for the way he... No.
The classroom has like, what, 10 kids in this village, which means, let's go with like 80% of this entire village is an adult.
Why do you hate people making assumptions that everybody else would agree are perfectly fine?
Just saying. That's the Jack prediction. Which adult?
Time for tips.
This is the first murder.
You can take this one.
From the June 1980 edition.
Oh, maybe I should click back into the game.
That would be helpful. On the afternoon at 2 p.m., an office employee and his wife of Hinamizawa.
On the afternoon of XX at 2 p.m., office employee XXXX and his wife XXXX of Hinamizawa village in Shishibone prefecture disappeared after falling 27 meters from the observatory platform in Shirakawa prefecture. That's like, I want to say 90 to 100 yards? Feet? That's...
You know, that's still... Oh, wait. I was going to say that still doesn't tell me anything, but it's in meters.
That's about 3 times the height of, like, competitive, like, people jumping into the water. I forgot the proper term for that. I mean, the thing where you make figures.
The 2-character portrait adults, tornado, potato,
or
or
vacuum boomer.
Yeah.
Yes. Diving. Is it just called diving?
Gotcha.
What's the German word? I want to say... Is it Turmspringen? As in tower jumping? That also sounds weird if you translate it. 88.5 feet. It's
That's a lot of
very
feet.
High. Police and firefighters searched downstream and discovered the body of XXXX at around 7 p.m. that evening. And now the thing that annoys me about this as the reader is both names were 4 X's. And now I don't know if it was the guy or the wife. Why is everyone I find German?
Because Germans
We're
are
everywhere
on the internet. Like, literally everywhere.
Sorry, I guess.
It's like in every online game or every mobile game you even play. It's like half is German.
Yeah, and the moment somebody comments on the fact that Germans are there, they take over the comment section.
Yeah, and I feel like there aren't even that many Germans, but it's like all the Germans are on the internet at the same time.
Yeah, of course, we all share the same like WhatsApp group and we tell each other when to appear where.
Yeah, that makes
the German people are a monolith, basically.
Wie kann das sein?
Dieser Chat ist nun Eigentum der Deutschen Bundesrepublik. This chat is now under the ownership of a German federal government. Yes, of a republic. You get it, Germany.
I always find it so funny, like also in Final Fantasy or some of the mobile games I play.
I hate to interrupt you, but I have to do this for you, Psycho, and everybody else who speaks German and gets the meme. Sprich Deutsch, Hurensohn. It's a thing when on the internet memeing people speak German and when somebody comes in speaking English, the appropriate response is Sprich Deutsch, Hurensohn. Speak German, you son of a bitch. I don't know where that started, but I've been on the internet for too long, so it's part of me. And there's very little instances where I get to use that, so there you go. I had to do it for my country, I guess. And now we know. His wife, XXXXX, has yet to be found. But wait, earlier you abbreviated her name with 4. 4 and 4, now it's... Now it's 5.
I think that just means that there is no meaning behind the amount of X's.
But that annoys me. It's details like this that I want to infer information from.
Which means you can leave it out.
The searchers run into difficulties due to the effects of Typhoon 3 from the previous day. It appeared a railing at the observatory that the X-axis leaned on had broken, causing them to fail.
See, now it's only 2.
To fail. Unplayable, 0 out of 10, yes. The groundskeeping staff was questioned by the police in regards to facility deterioration and if park maintenance was performed properly. Spin the chessboard. XXXX must have 2 wives.
I read it as cheeseboard. I could just
A cheeseboard with 2 wives?
No, I spin the cheeseboard. You know, you have a board of cheese and then you spin it.
Tifa, I'm sorry, but your Dutch is showing what?
Like a cheese plank. Even said spin the chessboard. I said I read it as cheeseboard.
Yeah, I get
don't know.
that.
I don't know the reference. I'm just imagining a spinning cheeseboard.
No, I get that, but I'm a millennial. I don't own a cheeseboard. I don't know any people that own cheeseboards. If you do, kudos to you. That's impressive.
I feel like the French do that more.
I know my parents had one. I know my grandparents had one. I don't know anybody other than that has a cheeseboard.
I don't know anyone in the Netherlands either that has a cheeseboard. Like cafes like to do a cheeseboard as dessert sometimes. But I've never met anyone that does an actual cheeseboard.
Yeah. If you own a cheeseboard, please speak up. Tell us, does it make it taste better?
Don't spin it anymore. Just watching spinning things makes me
Please,
as well.
Slade, don't make me hungry again. Psycho, go eat something. It's a Wednesday. You've got half a week still ahead of you. Treat yourself. You want to take this one? And from now on,
we'll go from cheese to burger.
Let's talk about döner instead. How about this? You take this one, and I'm okay with you not pronouncing the X's anymore, because clearly the game doesn't care that much about them either.
I haven't eaten toady yet. Well, don't worry, this is a cannibalism-free space as well.
Go eat something. I'm gonna call you Panda, because that's shorter, if that's okay with you. Go eat something. You need food. I don't think most people have a dedicated cheese board. It's more that you make a cheese board.
Yeah, but I feel like it always comes on like a fancy plate. You know, like so those black stone ones that are like come in square or like any kind of shape really. It's like a serving thing and there's literally no...
But it like just presenting it like this makes you feel like it's a more rich experience.
Yeah, those things have no function except for... Yeah, like presenting things on it, because putting food on it other than cheese doesn't really work, or fruit.
I don't know. No. I don't use one. Delicious chocolate, fortunate peanut butter, bacon that doesn't sting.
I think
Are you undutching us? I like it. No, Tifa, please stop trying to make Dutch wisdoms a thing again.
No, it's just a thing. And besides, it kind of works with the topic still.
That's true. It's kind of a tagline for our space.
I'm just saying. Okay, I'll do this one. From the June 1981 edition. On the afternoon of XX, around 10 p.m. in the X district of Hinamizawa village in Shishibone
I said it's okay to not pronounce the accent.
Prefecture. The Shinto priest of the Faroot Shrine passed away after an existing condition he was recovering from suddenly worsened.
I'm sorry, the shit priest of the Root Shrine? I'm one of those people I prefer watching the subbed anime. I listen to the original Japanese because it's always superior.
One, it is always superior, but two, when is the last time we actually watched an anime? Because everything I want to watch, you go like, oh, I want to watch it with you. And then it's on my plan to watch list for 3 years because you don't watch it with me.
What was the Bandai Namco is making a video game about it?
The one on Disney. I forgot the name.
It's about this guy with a mech and he's doing stuff.
Oh, sure. And yes, Psycho, this is serious, but Jack is obviously not taking it as serious.
I'm not a shit priest dying at the Root Shrine. You lost your reading privileges.
He was
Parties
a non-believer
close to
anyway.
the deceased said he was suffering from anxiety issues concerning the festival which was to be held that day. Also, after his death, his wife went missing, leaving behind a farewell note. The police and local youth association continued the search. However, given the presence of a farewell message and the fact that the Onikakushi swamp is said to be bottomless, they have run into difficulties.
Hey, so you found the press A command.
We need it.
Oh,
Also,
yeah,
can a swamp really be bottomless?
No.
That's not possible, right? This is a murder of all the gravitas this game tries to have. I understand that bad shit has happened every night of Watanagashi the past 3 years. It wasn't reported in the newspaper.
Oh, I like this tip.
The housewife murder... Okay.
It's like straight to the...
Radio log. Do I have anything I can use? You need to press enter to advance. Or you do it like that.
No, you can do it. Oh, but I can press. What do I
Tifa
press?
doesn't want to pronounce the Japanese words.
Escape bar.
Enter. This is Okinawa Station calling Unit 3. Unit 3, please respond.
This is Unit 3, loud and clear.
Backup is heading your way. Hold position until further instructions. Over.
Roger, Unit 3, acknowledged.
Requesting no headlights. Requesting radio silence.
Is this the same guy? Station, the doctor has arrived. They want to carry it away. What's the order? Over.
Acknowledged. Leave it to the doctor.
Affirmative. Understood. Ah, backup has arrived. Shouldn't we let them take a photo first? I think the Vic is done for.
I guess Vic is short for victim. Okay. Why did they ask for radio silence? That's weird, right?
I think there was a long pause in between them.
No. Also, when you're done with saying something into a walkie-talkie, because from my understanding is only one person can speak at a time. Like one opens the channel to the other, then they can speak through it, but they need to close it. You always say over, which is what dispatch or whatever I was reading did. But the person speaking to them didn't always do that.
Not always, no.
Also, that's weird. They're hiding something. You wouldn't normally ask for radio silence if it's just, hey, we found a dead person and we're sending someone to pick it up. Radio silence is if you don't want people to hear more than is necessary.
Maybe you're overthinking. Maybe not. Who knows?
Maybe it's Maybelline. Can a swamp really be bottomless? Reminds me of a stupid meme that now I'm going to spend way too long finding. And if you do find it, please post it in Discord. I would love it. You know what else I would love?
A short break.
2 geniuses.
BRB.
BRB.
We're back.
We are. Couldn't find the exact one I was looking for, but I basically found it. Yes. It's a good point, actually.
I didn't see it. What is it?
If Olive Garden has unlimited breadsticks, then why don't they use it to end world hunger? Which is a fair point.
That is a fair point.
My question, we don't have Olive Gardens over here, and I've never seen a place that does unlimited breadsticks, because if they existed over here, I would go there, and then I would be dramatically larger than I am. Can you take them along? Because I would imagine they have something in there, like only what you can eat while you're sitting at the table. Because otherwise, you just gotta grab them all, go outside, give them to somebody, and then come back. So really the question is, why has nobody ended world hunger with that yet? It's because they're lazy. Am I way overthinking the meme? Yes.
Is that also completely impossible? Yes.
Okay, Mion is not that.
But sure.
Not yet, at least.
Good morning. A nice job yesterday, Kei-chan.
You didn't do so badly yourself, Mion. Yesterday was fun.
Oh, that's right. Keiichi-kun, thank you very much.
Okay, Reina is alive too.
For Mr. Bear.
I'm glad you like it. Don't use it as a pincushion, though.
I wouldn't.
Why? Is that a normal thing to do with like plushies and stuffed animals?
Not the first thing I would think of, but sure.
They give them to you in a basket of 5. If you finish it, you can order more breadsticks. So they can give you a whole basket to go if you want. Okay. Alright.
I haven't been to an Olive Garden in like 15 years. If we ever get the chance to go to like America, I would love to visit an Olive Garden. I hear so many things, like I have to try it myself. Don't they also have the unlimited cheese until you say stop? That's also Olive Garden, I think.
I think the memes you've seen were also Olive Garden, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Where people come like, oh, fresh Parmesan, and they just do the thing
Keep
where
going.
Like, say when, but then...
I'd like to have the Olive Garden experience once.
Even if it sucks, just, you know, just to have done it. Unlimited cheese.
Like, unlimited cheese and bread, like, can you really go wrong? I'm just saying.
Yes, you can. Your body will regret that.
I don't even need to have anything else.
Just breadsticks and cheese, please.
Just give me a cola with cheese.
That sounds disgusting as a combination. Meanwhile, still chatting happily, we entered the classroom. But the moment I stepped into the room, a splashing sound and a nasty sensation. It was a bucket filled to the brim with water. And unfortunately, my foot stepped right into it.
I know. How diligent of you to mop the floor this morning.
The zoom, like...
Wait, do I do the pee here?
Oh, she's actually... She's only actually huge in the console. Sadako jump scare. I like it. I like it a lot. My mind says yes. My Colin says, have mercy. Yeah.
My Colin doesn't get to decide.
Just keep eating when you can't hear your Colin. Wait.
I think this is your foot.
Are these horse sounds? Clomp, 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 clomp. Clomp, clomp, clomp. Thwip. Thwip.
That's the sound, that's the squishy sound, like when your foot is wet and you step down, it's like the...
No,
it's like...
No, Tifa, what you just did is zombie beatboxing.
That's the sound of wet, sloshy shoes walking.
Why are you so good at that? Sadako is waiting for you to read her line to get out of it.
Wait, why is she suddenly crying?
I'm trying to figure out.
Were those the sounds of us hitting her?
We're trying to figure out. Read the line.
Because I thought that was the sound of sloshy shoes. yeah. I can't. Keiichi-san flicked my forehead.
Okay, fair enough. That can hurt.
You should set a more brutal trap next time.
Seeing that, Reina began to swoon as Mion looked on in disbelief. Everything was the same as always. Everybody was there and nothing felt out of place. The uncertainties I'd had in the back of my mind since yesterday had vanished.
What is it, Keiichi-kun? Didn't get enough sleep, maybe? Maybe?
Now that you mention it.
I slept like a log, but if you want, I'll do a reenactment during a class.
You shouldn't do that.
Mion alerted us that the teacher was coming, so everyone shuffled off to their seats.
This is the first time we see the teacher.
Are you ready?
Press P. Why does it look like that's a sleeping gown, by the way?
The remake gives me...
Sultry.
A little bit of Ara energy.
Da, da, da.
Yeah.
Also, you can be the teacher.
No. She looks very youthful.
Yeah, kind of.
Very youthful.
Like here, I'm getting more teenager vibes.
Yeah, like she's 19, but she's the like best person to teach him.
Mm. I mean, here she also looks like beginning 20.
Yeah, I cannot tell ages with his art style.
You can be the teacher. I already have like 6 characters in this class.
Do you remember the last time you thought you were a main character, but then
I don't need to be a main character anymore.
Now you can be 90% of the characters.
I can only do like 3 voices. Now they're all gonna sound the same. This is she is you. You're
No.
Chi. You're Chi.
Chie.
Chi, also good.
And no. You agreed to this. You allegedly watched the anime. You should have known how many characters there are and who would probably.
Yeah, I
voice
know
them.
there were so many girls, but you can take some. I've taken over male characters for you.
It's not working.
Wow. Then it's just a good morning, everyone. So yesterday was the festival. Thank you to all people who stayed until the very end to help clean up.
Thank you, Reina. Thank you, Mion, Rika. Not you, Satoko. Not you, Keiichi.
They're like 8 years old.
We were all slackers, so none of us actually helped clean up. Actually, I had a feeling that the only thing we did was run around the festival and cause a ruckus.
Sounds about right. I mean, that's what your kid's for. You're allowed to at that point.
Fair enough.
Okay then. This time of year, you might see some people here from out of town doing interviews about the festival for magazines.
I thought it was the usual stuff, so I was going to tune it out, but then I noticed the different tone in her voice and started paying attention.
You may be asked questions. Please don't say anything silly or something that could be taken the wrong way. Do you understand?
In unison, everyone replied, Yes, ma'am. What she'd said was really vague, but I understood what she was trying to say. After all, this was the 5th year. There are probably lots of third-rate reporters pouring in hoping something regarding the curse had happened. It did nothing but perpetuate the village's bad image. She was saying, don't spout stupid shit you think is funny. And now I was one of ones who needed to keep their mouth shut. I found it rather cute how I felt a sense of unity from such a trite thing, if I do say so myself.
So cute.
She has a fan too, huh? Doesn't everybody have fans? I would imagine.
I would say every character has at least.
I was summoned to club activities after school.
It's like how every Pokemon is somebody's favorite.
Yeah.
Even Metapod.
Except for Bellsprout. Since everybody was still pretty tired from yesterday, we just spent the day relaxing. Yeah, that wasn't happening.
Today, let's play a classic game of deduction. How about this one?
Oh, a game from overseas. Looks interesting. Tell that to Heiji. I wish I could.
The instructions are in English, but the rules don't seem that hard. I won't lose, you hear? I'm not too bad at this game.
It seemed that Reina didn't handle this kind of game very well. Ah yes, this kind of game from abroad.
It's Cluedo. The rules are the person who can match the murderer, weapon and the scene of the crime wins.
There were 3 kinds of cards comprised of suspects, weapons and locations.
That is Cluedo, isn't it?
I've never played that. Also, I think the English name is just Clue.
Clue?
Yeah.
Oh.
I could see that the names Mion and Rika were written on the suspect cards. Oh, a card with my name on it as well. There are plenty of different weapons too, like knives, axes and poison. The locations are pretty nice too, like the living room, the study and the courtyard.
So basically, you take out one of each of the cards. These are the answer cards. So we shuffle the remaining cards and hand them out. We ask each other about the cards and figure out the right ones. I remember playing that, but I don't recall how it worked or the rules.
Have any of you watched Dagashi Kashi? It's an anime that basically centers around different types of candy. It's amazing. There is a plot that like connects all of this together, but virtually every episode is like centered around a piece of candy from traditional Japanese candy shops. Higurashi gives me a similar vibe, with every episode featuring a different clubhouse game.
I see what you mean, I guess, but...
Not as in detail, and like I learned nothing about the game really, but it's a thing.
I see why you have to think of it.
Ah, I see. So the cards nobody has are the true perpetrators.
Then you raise your hand if you know the answer. The game ends and we check if the answer is correct. If you're right, then you get a point. If you're wrong, then you lose a point.
Just like our predictions we do.
Besides, we don't lose points though. We should actually do that. For every prediction that's wrong, you lose a point.
That's a horrible idea.
You'd never win.
Mm-hmm.
Since the game ends, even if no one gets it right, all the cards are gathered up and redistributed. You'll learn as you go.
Fair enough.
You really have to use your brain.
I'm not good at that.
You'll get confused if you don't take notes.
For the rest of you can figure it out by playing. So, Mion, what's the penalty this time? Everyone directed their attention to Mion.
Let's see... We're all still a little tired from yesterday, so maybe we'll take it easy with a gopher penalty? You'll be asked to rush out and buy stuff for everyone. So just being asked to go buy stuff like drinks and candy, I guess? I feel like the penalty today is pretty simple.
I wonder, is it really?
Is Keiichi-san thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah. You don't know what you'll have to go buy. I'm betting Mion would send out whoever loses to buy stuff like hemorrhoid cream or happy family planning manual or other crazy stuff.
A new 8K television.
Didn't exist in 83. But yes, something like that. The cards were lightly shuffled and passed out to each player. The real perpetrator, the correct weapon and the scene of a murder have been taken out, so that means all the cards I have in my hand are innocent cards. But then you also need a game master, no? You need somebody who knows who did it.
I mean, in the end, you'll check.
I've never played this.
I don't even remember how to play.
Beyond sense will lose out to buy hentai. Basically, yeah.
That's a good idea.
I mean, it's not the dumbest idea if you want to get your hands on some.
Then I'll go first since I'm the club president, I guess. Well then, Mion, knife, study.
You pick one suspect, weapon and murder scene and ask the other players. If you have any of these cards, then you must say, I have one. However, you don't need to say which one you have. Okay, that's how you get to the deduction in the end. Yeah, I got it.
That's why you gotta make notes. Me too. I have one. Oh my, all of them are here.
3 people answered when she asked if they had Mion, knife and study. So that means that Mion, knife and study are all in the clear. Got to jot that down.
Then I'll go. Reina, X, lounge.
Only 2 people said they had one? So it means out of Reina, X and lounge, one of them is correct and is part of a crime? No, wait, even if they say they have one, they don't have to say how many. It's possible that either Satoko or Rika-chan has 2 of the cards.
Well, Kei-chan is next. Go ahead.
Why do I feel like to be good at this game you have to do a lot of math in your head? Because it doesn't sound like something I would enjoy. Wait, just a little. I'm still sorting things out.
I remember having fun with this game.
The game has me thinking more than I thought. Oh man, this feels like it's going to be tough.
You can get it. I think you can play this with 2 people. I don't remember. Alright, now I have the criminal.
What? Already? Here I'm spinning around in circles and Mion just now raises her hand.
The murderer is Rika-chan. In the infirmary with the poison. Well?
Mion drew the cards from a box and we checked to see if her deduction was right.
I was right!
All I needed was one more hint. I couldn't tell whether it was poison or a pistol. I'd never use a pistol.
Things Tifa says.
I like killing them slowly with poison.
100% Tifa energy.
I'm not really I'm not a pistol type, but also not a poison type, I would say.
Then pray tell Tifa, what would you be?
I have no clue. Because I wouldn't.
Rika-chan said such a hugely terrifying thing with such a sweet little face. Everyone was making a commotion about how they almost had it. Reina and I were left out in the cold though.
How did you do, Keiichi-kun? I couldn't get it at all.
Don't worry, I had no idea either.
How can you both be so unsure? You'll both end up in last place together at this rate. At least we can carry things together.
That's even worse. Going off buying something together as a couple. What if we ended up having to buy the Happy Family Planning Manual?
I can tell from Keiichi's expression that he's not very good at this game.
What? That's not true. I'll show you the true power of Sherlock Maebara during the next round.
My, that sounds just wonderful. I shall give you quite the thrashing.
I will cut through your words. After that I managed to somewhat grasp the trick behind the game, but I was still always a step or two behind. I saw that Mion was somehow gleaning information from how the others were asking their questions. That level of experience was just too much. The only way I could stage a comeback was if I became ruthless. I tossed out the simple concept of deduction and switched over to the thought process needed to win. The important thing isn't to find out the criminal, it's to win the game. Eureka! Sorry. Need to go to the bathroom.
Take your time and squeeze out a nice one.
I recant my earlier statement. Rika is best girl.
Hey John, that's gross.
I had them hold off the game and headed down the hall.
Gonna go knit a brown jumper.
Time to grease the old hemorrhoids. The air was crisp. It showed just how stagnant the air in the classroom was from our body heat. On the school grounds, some of our classmates were still playing around. After spending some time cooling my head, Reina had made her way over towards me.
Keiichi-kun, did you call for me?
Yeah, I did. When did... Oh! As I got up from my seat, I winked over at Reina. I'm glad it worked out. I don't want to waste much time, so I'll get right to the point. Reina, what's your record at this game we're playing today? She was taken aback. After a moment, she hesitantly opened her mouth.
Well, all losses. Why do you ask? I wonder.
I could tell from how apprehensively she was playing. The way things are going, I will as well. I can't figure out a way to pull off a last-minute comeback on this one.
So I guess both of us will be taking that penalty?
Hey, don't accept defeat already. How about we win this? Both of us.
But how can we?
Suddenly, Reina jump scare. I brought my lips up to Reina's ear.
That's not a whisper.
Shout out to all the cats listening.
Huh? Is that allowed?
Did you forget, Reina, the second rule of our society? Do everything in your power to obtain victory.
Yeah, I'll try my best.
Our plan of attack was a quite rudimentary one. At the beginning of a game, everyone would be focused on their own hand for a while, taking notes and whatnot. Since our seats are right next to each other, we'd reveal our hands to each other. If we did it under the desk, then nobody would know.
That would be way too obvious though.
We'd begin the game with twice as much information as everyone else. Having this much information would mean we'd need to investigate less. With this sort of plan of attack, we start off with a big lead over the other guys.
Yeah, with this we can probably win.
We both smirked at each other. If I was the shady businessman, then Reina was the corrupt senator. Pleasure doing business with you.
Then let's hurry back. We'll work as a duo to surprise everyone.
Hey now, there's no point if we go back together. It would be like flat out telling them we made a little arrangement.
Oh, sorry. Then what should we do?
Go back ahead of me, Reina. I'll take my time coming back after washing my face or something.
Okay, got it.
I'm gonna go take a shit. Reina turned around and headed back to the classroom. I guess I should wait a little bit longer before going back. If I went too soon, it wouldn't seem like I went to the bathroom. If Mion or one of them suspected something, then there could be problems. Well, they'd figure it out sooner or later, because both Rin and I would start winning over and over again. Both Rin and I will have earned enough points to avoid being the losers by the time Mion realized what was happening. Rion realized. Excellent. Not bad at all.
Maebara-kun, may I have a moment?
Huh? It's the teacher. Man, things were just getting good. What is it? I'm a bit...
You have a guest. Please make your way to the entrance.
A guest? It's not like I own a hotel.
They have been waiting. Please hurry.
Right before my big match was pretty bad timing to have a visitor, but the very fact that someone was here to see me was strange enough to pique my interest. I didn't want to waste any time, so I decided to take care of it quickly. Police? The entryway was a heavy contrast from the hot sunlight and deep shadows. Yeah, I don't like this. Waiting there, looking uncomfortably warm, was a middle-aged man, his tie sloppily loosened and his jacket tucked underneath his arm.
I would say that doesn't look sloppy at all, Butcher.
He looks a bit more distinguished and, I want to say, experienced with this art style. Also more bulky, as in a muscular way.
A little bit.
Is it just me or does he look like he has boobs?
A little bit.
Like the... I get they were trying to give him a gut. Like a little belly, but the proportions are like very like...
The way
forward.
the pants and stuff is...
He's doing that Higurashi lean. It doesn't look good for your back, like your spine will suffer if you do the Higurashi lean too much. Yeah, once again, my clear favorite. Are you Maebara-san? Keiichi Maebara-san.
He does look like a detective.
There was no question that he wasn't a resident of Hinamizawa and that this was without a doubt the first time he had met me. Ever since I met Tomitake-san, it seemed I was fated to meet middle-aged men. How is this person supposed to be middle-aged and Tomitake as well?
When you're a kid, everyone is old.
That's right. Who might you be? I have the AC on in my car, let's talk there. It's a bit hot here, don't you think?
Yeah, how about you come into the building instead?
I have some candy for you waiting in the car as well. Do you want to see my kittens and my puppies?
Yes.
They're in the back of my white unmarked truck. Let me open it for you. The man, completely ignoring my... Stranger danger. Yes. Who are you? Where did the teacher go? Help. Please.
Yeah, it doesn't help that the teacher isn't even there. It's like, oh, the stranger's here to talk to you. Well,
They
bye.
just said they need to talk to the kid.
I'm quite sure he's a detective.
Is there a vetting process?
That's the detective core.
The man, completely ignoring my question, pointed over to his car parked near the gate and began walking. You've got to be kidding me. I had no intention of going along with some geezer I didn't even know, and he was asking me to get in this car with him? I'm not going to buy it. Come on now. He opened the back door of his car and called me over. I didn't like this old man, but I wanted to know what this was about. Even though knowing that conversations that start out like this have never led to anything good.
Not even an introduction first?
Why are we sitting in the back of a car?
Like, who are you?
The inside of the car was pretty cool. Cars with air conditioners were supposed to be a luxury. My dad didn't have one in his car, at least. That was a thing in Germany even well until the 90s.
Makes sense.
I don't think my family got a car with air conditioning in until, I want to say, the early 2000s, actually. We were pretty late. Please let me know if it's... What?
Don't remember air conditioning.
Aww, I'm sorry. Wait.
Stop it.
Better?
No, thank you.
Trying to cool her down. Please let me know if it's too cold for you, okay? I have a habit of cranking it all the way up. I fucking love air conditioning. Yeah, unless I overuse it to the point where I'm nice and cool, and when I go outside and when I get hit like a wall of bricks from like heat or something, and then my body
the difference is too
basically takes a screenshot and my immune system just goes, nope.
I like air conditioning until I can tell it's on. Like when you feel it or you're like under it. I always feel like I'm getting sick after being in an office where the air conditioning is on all day.
Yeah, that's a thing that can happen. So, what business do you have with me? Out of spite, I decided to ignore his remark in the same way he did to me and start my own line of questioning. He pulled out a notepad from his pocket and took out a picture that was stuck between the pages. Who's dead? It's not Tomitake. Really? Really? What are you doing?
Moving. My butt is square.
Stop having a square butt then. On it was the face of a pretty goofy looking guy. If you know anything related to this individual, then please tell me. Who the heck is this? I doubt even his close friends would be able to recognize who he was from this expressionless picture that looked like it was taken at the DMV. There were scribbles on his shirt done in permanent marker, starting with yours, Maebara-san, and quite a few of your classmates signed as well. Huh? This is Tomitake-san. There was no hint of his usual unreliable and easygoing personality in this photo. It was an expressionless, half-asleep face. Then, do you know this woman? Even before seeing it, I had a good idea of who it was. I don't remember her name, but she's some lady who was with Tomitake-san last night. I didn't know what her name was, but I did know she was a resident of Hinamizawa. When was the last time you saw these two? The night of Watanagashi, we spoke. They seemed pretty close, I guess. Did anything bother you about them? Anything is fine. Go ahead and say it. Being asked for every little detail is very troubling, honestly. I had a pretty good idea of who this guy was by now. Did something happen to them? There was no response to my inquiry. Thus, I replied to that silence in kind. I was pretty sure, no, certain, that this guy was a cop.
Wouldn't you introduce yourself first?
Yeah, I would think so. I would think so. Usually police don't have a problem with telling you they're police if they just want to talk to you, right? I would think.
Guess he's trying to not scare him.
Oh, so not introducing myself, asking me to get in the back of a car, stranger danger as hell, helps?
Apparently.
Then why? Why was he asking about Tomitake-san? Did something happen to him? More importantly, why me? Shouldn't there have been plenty of other people who knew more about him than I did? The roar of the air conditioner felt unbearably loud. After a long pause, he finally spoke again. You've moved here just recently, isn't that right, Maebara-san? Are you aware, I wonder, about the stories of oyashiro-sama? My heart began to race. I'm pretty terrible at hiding things. It probably showed on my face. Not at all. If you don't, then that's fine. Well, I have heard of it. Tomitake-san told me, actually. How much do you know about it? The dismemberment killing? The accidental death? The death by illness, followed by suicide? And the lady who was beaten to death? These incidents always happen at the day of the Watanagashi, ending in suspicious deaths. I didn't think Tomitake-san would have kept anything from me. I think that was everything. No, rather I didn't want to think there was anything more than that. Maebara-san, do you believe in the curse? Feel free to speak openly about it. I don't believe in it. My answer was instant. It wasn't so much that I didn't believe in it, as I was on the verge of believing. I wanted to clear away my own doubts. That was the more prominent feeling. Really? Then that's great. Guess you really are one of those city-raised boys. So, what if I don't believe? I have friends waiting, so could you get to the point? The man in this picture is dead.
Dum dum dum.
I was right, as in something happened at the festival.
Yeah, I guess you were right.
My prediction paid off.
But I was right about who died.
But we didn't write it down, so it doesn't count.
No, but I wrote it in Discord.
Okay. Wow, spoilers! I haven't looked at that channel ever since the last time I had to go in there and ask a question.
Yeah, you shouldn't, because I remember it.
Rest in peace, Tomato-san. My mind went blank. Huh? What happened to Tomitake-san?
Yeah, don't worry, I wouldn't have counted it as a prediction.
It would seem that he died last night. That was the night of Watanagashi. Do you understand the implications behind that, Maebara-san? Implications? Not any for the cause of his death or the reasons behind it. The real problem was that he died on the day of the Watanagashi. Meaning, this year, the curse of Oyashiro-sama had once again. The death of Jiro Tomitake is still confidential. You can understand why that is, right? I didn't want to understand why.
This seems like kind of a shitty way of telling a 15-year-old kid
that their friend died? Yes.
Yeah. I mean, technically he doesn't know they're friends, but he's also not like... He knows we know him.
Yeah. Clearly. Otherwise, why would we have written a message on his shirt?
Like, this is I feel like this is the sort of interrogation / conversation you should have with his parents.
Yes. Yes. Definitely.
Because it's not just questioning, it's like, hey, your buddy is dead.
Yeah, oh, BT Dubs, your friend dead? Please tell me. Tell me what happened. It was rather peculiar.
And then he tells the details.
What's with that music?
It's trying to pull your strings.
That literally sounded like a guitar string breaking. It was rather peculiar. It might be a little too graphic for someone born and raised in Hinamizawa. What kind of argument is that? It was a roundabout way of saying it, but it caused me to doubt whether or not I wanted to hear the rest. I would only regret forcing myself to learn of something I shouldn't. Or at least that's how I figured I would feel if I listened to the rest. So I'm guessing the radio log we had in the tip was the police talking about the death of Tomitake-san. We're also reusing the same shot.
No, there were four hints.
Yeah.
And we had 4 deaths, no?
I mean...
1 for each death.
I guess. I'm confused.
Doesn't matter.
One of our patrol cars discovered the body on the way back from security detail at the festival. It was late, about 5 till midnight. The location was, you know where the road into town becomes paved, right? Down past the slope, on the shoulder around there. There were a few streetlights on that road. This pitch-black darkness was only broken by the lights of passing cars and the moon. It was a stroke of luck that Tomitake-san was spotted collapsed on the shoulder of the road. Tomitake-san was face down, covered in blood. Blood and muck covered the asphalt. We thought it was a hit and run at first, but when the officer checked to see if he was still alive, he quickly noticed something abnormal. His throat had been ripped open. From a knife or something?
Good job giving these details to a 15-year-old. I can only repeat myself.
No. Nails. Nails! As in fingernails. You mean his neck was clawed through? From the coroner's report it was revealed that it was his own nails. Huh? What does that mean? Basically it means it wasn't a murder, it was suicide. Tomitake-san, whatever was going through his mind, tore open his own throat. As hard as he could with his own nails. Tore through the skin until he started to bleed, and even then Tomitake-san didn't stop. He continued clawing, with enough intensity that it could have peeled off his nails. Still clawing. Still clawing. Then, as his nails reached those vital arteries that he could never damage, he continued clawing. Blood splattered on the ground around him. As he bled, while gasping for breath, he collapsed, his body spasmed, and he died in agony. And this is why you don't just off the cuff tell a 15-year-old these things. Not like that.
Well...
One for the guy who fell off a cliff, one for the priest and his wife, one for the housewife who missed the festival, one for radio silence. So this is that one.
No, so it is.
The dam worker guy from the first year was already covered in previous tips.
Oh, yeah,
fair
true,
enough.
true.
Yeah.
I was thinking four.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
That makes sense. Oh. I skipped something. We thought drugs were to blame, but nothing of that nature was detected. But it was a suicide. I've never heard of such a thing. This unnatural way of dying. If this wasn't a mysterious death, then what was? The way he died, in these 5 years, his death most resembled that of a curse. As if to show both myself and Tomitake-san, who proclaimed there was no such thing as a curse, that we were wrong. There were a few more suspicious details. Why do you keep telling him these things? And like that? From his body chemistry, perspiration, appellation, and so on, we concluded that he was in a state of hysteria right before his death. That was a given. It's hard to believe someone could be in a sound state of mind while clawing out their own throat. Wounds on his hand matched a discarded piece of lumber found nearby. There were traces of where he stuck trees and the guardrails with it. What?
I guess he started using wood at some point.
Wounds on his hand matched a discarded piece of lumber found nearby. He struck trees and the guardrails with it.
Swung a piece of wood around, okay.
In between... Oh, something must have happened that he already had blood on his hands. Probably from his own throat. Wood.
Depends on what he did first.
Tomitake-san's blood was found all over the place. Meaning that while tearing at his own throat he was swinging around a piece of lumber. There were external injuries which were not self-inflicted discovered in Tomitake-san. There's a high probability Tomitake-san was assaulted. The external injuries suggest that there may be multiple suspects.
So after all of this, let me summarize it for you. He did.
To summarize, Tomitake-san was surrounded and attacked. While wandering the night roads in a state of panic, after being cornered, he picked up a piece of lumber and tried fighting back. Somewhere in there he began madly tearing at his own throat, clawing at it. Then he died. The presumed time of death was between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m, meaning it occurred right after you finished talking to Tomitake-san at the festival. Everyone signed Tomitake-san's shirt, then parted ways. Right after that. Oh yeah, he should have been with a woman. What about her? She's missing. She hasn't shown up to work and she hasn't returned home either. There's a very high probability that she was involved in this incident. For a while I could only gaze off into space.
He's even telling her the suspects. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
This man is the worst police officer I have seen in a long time, even in video games. I never would have thought that something unfortunate happening to somebody close to me could affect me this deeply. The time I had spent with Tomitake-san was short, but we went to the same festival, spent time together, and took part in the same competition.
Even if this dude talked to me and it turned out the lady behind the cash register I saw the other night, I think it would still affect you.
Yeah, he was one of us. We've been continuing the investigation on various fronts, but when it comes to Oyashiro-sama's curse, the villagers here aren't very cooperative. That I knew well. I would have been none the wiser if not for Tomitake-san, the outsider, telling me. So that's why you came to me. Because I'm not originally from Hinamizawa. I should have been angry that that was the reason he wanted to hear what happened for me. If things go the way they have been, then the conclusion would be that Jiro Tomitake died from Oyashiro-sama's curse. He turned away from me and gazed far off into the distance. The night of Watanagashi, during that sacred ritual, he callously snapped off photos angering Oyashiro-sama. That's how it's going to turn out. But there's no way Oyashiro-sama would inflict divine punishment on Tomitake-san.
Yeah, because they became close buddies.
Tomitake-san had to have been killed by humans, and a cowardly group, no less. There's no way I'm going to let this end up being the fault of some curse. I think so as well. There's no such thing as divine punishment or curses. The tense mood was cut with a man's hearty laugh. That's how this must be, Maebara-san. Cooperation from individuals in Hinamizawa who don't believe in the curse is indispensable. Understand? Neither Tomitake-san nor I believed in curses. But with the way things were going, it would just end up with Tomitake-san's death marking the 5th year. Which would mean that Hinamizawa had rejected Tomitake-san. That was something I couldn't allow. Tomitake-san was one of us. He didn't live in Hinamizawa, but he came every single year. In a sense, he was more of a resident than I was. There was no way that Tomitake-san could have been cursed by Oyashiro-sama. But there's nothing I can do to help. I have no idea what happened that night either. No, if you see or hear something that draws your attention, then that is enough. If I see or hear, he was talking in the future tense. Things or people or rumors, anything is fine. I don't care if they're unfounded. Here, this is my number. If I'm not there, then just leave a message with whoever picks up. He handed me a piece of paper with his number on it, but I hesitated for a second. If I took it, then whether I wanted to or not, I'd be mired knee-deep in this matter. Please help me solve these questions surrounding Tomitake-san's unfortunate death. That's right. Why was I hesitating? I needed to find the murderer who killed my friend.
Yeah, now he has the feeling that he has to go investigate, because otherwise no one will.
Seemingly. That's the drawback of everybody around him being like, no, nothing happens. Nothing weird, ever. Not in Hinamizawa.
Yeah, but that's kind of dangerous, assuming there's a killer on the loose.
Are we gonna get a, for lack of better framing, Stranger Things game, basically? Where the girls and Keiichi now get together to try to solve the murder of Tomitake-san? Is that what the game is going to be about?
Could be.
I hate that you remember bits and pieces. Presser! I need to collect my thoughts. I just heard about my friend dying. I snatched up a piece of paper as a satisfied grin spread across his face. Everything we spoke of today is a secret. Please keep this confidential. Understood. This was more of an ironic pressing. Okay, I'll take it. From your friends as well. Especially from Sonozaki-san and Furude-san. Please do not inform them. Sonozaki? You mean Mion? Why are you saying they have something to do with the incident? With my friends' names brought up so abruptly and being told to keep it a secret from them, I became rather angry. This is what they call investigative privilege, I suppose. Don't play games with me! Mion is a close friend of mine! I snapped at him, but he didn't seem to especially be offended. I wouldn't mind telling you, but it may just upset you. Say it! He hesitated a little. Turning his gaze to the outside of the car, he began to speak after thinking for a bit. There is a possibility that the string of incidents happening here in Hinamizawa are a result of a village conspiracy. I called that!
He's driving this poor kid nuts.
If that turns out to be correct. Why is... This guy is whatever middle-aged is here. Guessing he's like mid to late 40s or something. He is a police officer or something. He chose to be in this field. He chose to be dealing with these things. Like, that's his job. And he just took this random 15-year-old kid he's never seen and he's just basically trauma dumping all over him. I understand the need to ask him questions. I fully do. But I also fully believe that there's a better setting for all of this. Maybe, talk to the parents first. Like,
well,
hey,
I think he feels stuck. I kind of get it from his point of view.
Stuck.
But like, yeah, you're in a village and where
it happened last night. How can the investigation be stuck already?
No one will help. Don't forget, this repeats every single year. He's probably going through the same thing every single time.
From his point of view, every villager except Keiichi is potentially involved. What about Keiichi's family?
But at least get his parents, like, this should be illegal too.
If your parents cooperate, then next year they'll be...
Yeah, when Keiichi goes like, I have to tell my mom. He's like, if you tell your parents, they'll be dead next year. Can you imagine the conversation going that way? Like, oh well.
Also, Detective Senpai said he doesn't believe in the curse either, so he gonna end up dead too. There's no way that could be right. Give me a break. First of all, is there any proof of that? No evidence. Also, each of the cases was resolved, and none of the perpetrators had any direct connection to the village. But how did you come to that conclusion? Every year, the enemies of a village die on the day of the Watanagashi. Don't you think that's enough reason to suspect something? Only the residents of Hinamizawa felt that the day of the Watanagashi was sacred. So basically, because incidents happen on that day, it was somehow related to Hinamizawa?
It kind of is if it's in the city every single time.
Yeah, that didn't make too much sense. First, it was the damn construction foreman. Then it was a villager that supported it. Those the village hold a grudge against die one after the other from mysterious causes. That the means are different, but in the end the result is the same. Unfounded, unreasonable suspicion. But it couldn't just be shrugged off. So, the victims after that, what about the Shinto priest and his wife's death? They weren't enemies of the village. The villagers had expected leadership from the Shinto priest at the time of the dam dispute, but he wasn't proactive, so there was a faction of villagers who harbored ill will towards him as a result. Ill will? It's not like he did anything bad to the village. What about that housewife after that? Did she die just because she was the wife of a brother of a supporter? That's such a trivial reason to kill someone. And what about Tomitake-san? He's not affiliated with a damn project at all. Was he killed just because he was an outsider? In the beginning, it fell on those related to the damn project, but as the years went on, the enemy threshold of their victims had become much lower. Well, that's the scary part. The bar keeps getting lower. What's scary about that? It means it's not just enemy of a village anymore. Just being an outsider could be a reason enough. Then you're saying that next year's victims will be picked out of a village outsider pool?
There you have it.
Might be a person that just moved here. What do you mean by... I swallowed my words. Here in Hinamizawa, the ones who would be considered the most outside would be my family.
There you have it.
I was proof enough of it, wasn't I? Still couldn't really remember the names of the people I passed by.
I barely even remember the names of my neighbors after 7 years.
Then the next victims, my family. Was he saying it was going to be me? Beautiful way to end it for tonight. Also, I feel like after the "it could be me," that should have been the end of a chapter.
Well, that doesn't really work, I want to say, because usually the end of the chapter is like an end of a day or an end of something that happened. If you would end here, then it would continue in the car.
I don't care.
Boo! Well, I'm sorry.
The fact that you boo proves that this was the right choice.
But I also... this is why we had the stream.
Plus that.
I also have a feeling that we're gonna be in this car for a while.
I hope not. Let out the yawn. Do it. Like her face is just puffing up like...
I'm trying to keep my mouth closed. At least it has air conditioning. You have a very good point there.
You skipped one. Skill issue. I agree. Maybe over the next few days, the next 2 days, Tifa will actually learn how to sleep. You know, get good at rest.
I don't think that's gonna happen. Well, at some point I will, because I'm just so tired that I'll sleep through.
I'd rather that be sooner than later.
That's how it works.
At least it has actually... Yeah, true.
Next year, Keiichi's corpse will be found in that car. I mean, I understand what he's saying, but seriously, telling a kid that if this doesn't get resolved, the next victim might be an outsider, and who could be an outsider? Your mama. You want your mama dead, boy? Is that what you want?
You want to kill your parents? Because you act like you want to kill your parents, Keiichi.
It's like...
Don't you care for your family?
Like guilt tripping this 15-year-old who's now gonna be paranoid of everyone. Everyone. I wouldn't even trust my hamster after this. I would start to doubt Renate, the duck. Like,
the duck did nothing wrong.
Like, did she come here out of a coincidence? Or is this part of the curse?
I'm just saying.
Is she sent by Oshi? I already forgot the name.
Oyashiro-sama.
Exactly, that's why I'm cursed.
I just want to say you can't spell Renate without R-E-N-A, which is the name of a character in Higurashi. You were cursed by Higurashi before you even realized.
What if we feed Oyashiro-sama some grapes?
That's necessary, I feel. I want to say that is necessary. Summoning a night of good sleep for you. I'm taking your summons and I'm putting them into Tifa. I hope it works like that.
I will do my best.
Sadly, I believe you missed some key details because you were silly. You mean the fact that the fourth murder wasn't even reported on?
Oh, like that.
I mean, only time can tell.
I think the problem is also with a lot of the things. Yes, they can be key details.
But you don't
won't
realize
click
until later.
Until later. And then later you can go like, oh, that was a wheelchair.
There was a blind, deaf, mute person in a wheelchair sitting out of frame the entire time. Weird how that happens.
I wasn't gonna throw in all those details, but sure.
I do. Trying to think this through logically. I would imagine that it's a serial killer. But not beginning with the first murder. Like, I'm trying to come up with a realistic way that still makes for good entertainment. And like, I know it's been brought up several times that the very first murder was committed by, 6 people? 5 of them gave themselves up. 1 still hasn't been found. 1 is missing. So I think the easy conclusion would be clearly this person keeps coming back to Hinamizawa during the festival and then kills people. But what if that person actually just ran away for dear life and is now living somewhere in China or whatever? And instead... Yes?
Nothing.
But you were like...
I was just yawning.
Why do you yawn with your hand? And instead, a serial killer bandwagoned the whole thing, basically. Ever since the second murder.
Could be.
What could Tomitake-san have done to warrant being killed? I mean, he did say he doesn't believe.
Do you need to warrant being killed? You're an outsider. You don't believe. So far, like the detective said, they're enemies of the village.
Yeah, exactly.
By being a non-believer, you're automatically an enemy.
All of them did something that could be taken as a slight against the village. Like the priest not stepping up or whatever. Other people being related to people who were in on the dam construction thing. What did Tomitake do? Take pictures of birds.
Well, you can keep thinking about that. Maybe we'll get an answer on Friday, because it's time to get some rest. I hope. Maybe.
I hope you actually do that this time.
Who knows?
But I was right, it was unlike Donkey Kong. And the real treasure was the friends we made along the way. Yes, and their value only increases as they drop one by one, as the serial killer takes more of them, I guess. Can we go back to the slice of life parts? Those were nice. 5 minutes later, Tifa is logged into Final Fantasy XIV. If she does, I'm gonna be mad.
I'm gonna skip my dailies for today.
If you log in here, I can do them for you.
Yeah, that's fine.
How much more adorable do I need to be?
That's cute.
I just offered to do your dailies in MMO for you.
That's really
That's
sweet,
my love language.
But you don't have to. It's not gonna make that much of a difference. It's okay.
Well, remember this. Remember this.
You ready?
Press the button, Tifa.
Pressing.
Thank you everybody for hanging out with us. We're back on Friday when Tifa hopefully has gotten some sleep. And yes, I do believe Oyashiro-sama. Please don't kill me in my sleep. See you then. Bye.
Thank you.